I feel it in my bones, a spark to lead us through the shadows. But can I fight the way before me? It's coursing through my soul, a road to guide us through the sorrow. Can I calm this storm inside me? I feel it in my bones, a spark to lead us through the shadows. Can I fight the way before me? It's coursing through my soul, a road to guide us through the sorrow. Can I calm this storm inside me? This storm inside me.
Time slows down when it can get no worse. I can feel it running out on me. I don't want these to be my last words. All forgotten, 'cause that's all they'll be. Now there's
That'd be unfortunate.
nothing I can do. Fighting till the end like I promised to. Wishing there was something left to lose. This could be the day
We will have a legitimate match tonight and not a good old-fashioned game of hide and seek in the Summoner's Rift.
What did
Oh,
I
that was
miss
pretty
last
hype.
week? Fill me in briefly.
We played hide and seek. That's what and then it quickly devolved into team deathmatch, but in League of Legends.
The 2v5 team deathmatch.
Yeah, it was so basically what actually happened in terms of a competitive sense is I believe it's the same team that we're seeing tonight. Was it Team Ambition Sakura or was it a different team? Okay. That's what I thought. It's Team Ambition Sakura. Can't remember who they were playing against either. Not that one. Oh, Iridescent Dawn X. Their opponents, Iridescent Dawn X, were no-shows. They did not show up to the match. We gave them the normal time, which is 20 minutes. They didn't show up after that. They were busy with something else at the time, so they ended up just having to forfeit the series because, obviously, Team Ambition Sakura is going to enforce that. So they got the free dub there, which they're probably already going to win anyway. So
Are we allowed to disclose what they were doing?
Yeah, they were playing a normal. I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone cares. It's fine. It's not like we were like sworn to silence on it. They were playing a normal game. The transparency. I feel like we can be transparent about that. It doesn't
Sure.
like they didn't come to us and be like don't tell anybody that we were playing a normal game and had to FF a series. No, you can. We're gonna broadcast that.
It's our job to keep the fans informed.
Exactly.
Speaking of keeping the fans informed, we should probably inform them about who we got playing here tonight. It is Team Wolfpack Mingos versus that very same Team Ambition Sakura. Should be a bit of a hyphy one, that matchup. But before we do get into our matchup and our predictions on the night, we got stuff to cover, just like we do every other week on the regular. It is patch week. Patch has been live for about 24 hours. Just going to keep you guys updated on the fact that Belveth will not be available for play in the VRS this split. We've made the decision as the slightly higher level of play here compared to our amateur series and amateur draft, that rival series and rival draft will not be allowing Belveth to come in and shake up the meta so close to playoffs time. We will be playing through the entirety of playoffs without the new champion, so nothing to worry about here with the Void Empress. We will be seeing her next split around, but we do have a whole litany of changes. It was a huge patch following up a huge patch in 12.10 2 weeks ago, so lots of changes to cover. Gentlemen, what changes strike your fancy, starting with our resident support MVP extraordinaire, right? Weren't you the MVP of what, VAD?
Not MVP, but All-Star. I don't have that role, by the way. I still don't have my All-Star role. I should bother someone about that for sure, and get that fixed. Yeah. But anyway, yes, I am pretty excited about one of the changes, the Tom Kent change. There were a few things that were changed about him. Some may say that they don't really matter that much. I actually think that both the ult shield and the Q healing that he got are pretty huge, because they took some power away from Senna but they ended up actually giving a little bit of power to the Tahm Kench, and so this lane is still pretty good. Even though non-farming Senna did get hit with some nerfs, while farming Senna got buffed a little bit, I still think you could go, fasting Senna here and go farming Tahm Kench, and it's still pretty good because Tahm Kench's healing on his Q, I believe, was raised by like 2%, maybe a little bit more than that. His shield, I know, at the first rank was raised by like 150, and then I think it's raised by 100 at the second rank, and then after that, I don't know if it's raised at all, and if it is, it's like 50 or something lower like that. But Tahm Kench's early game becomes better, and when when Tahm Kench's early game is better, it means you're probably not going to be killing his ADC that he's playing against. So that's really fun for support Tahm Kench. Top Tahm Kench only gets really affected by the healing on his Q. And so that's the main change that I wanted to talk about. There is a bit of a change with Rakan, because Rakan got absolutely demolished by 12.10, because Rakan's whole thing is he's like, all right, guys, I'm going to set up my team so you can kill them instantly. And if you can't kill people instantly, Rakan is actually useless, because his shields were so much worse as well. They took a lot of power away from those shields because they started taking a lot of power away from everybody's shields. A lot of like the people like Karma, the Lulu didn't get affected by as much because they're able to get those shields off more. So as a result of the durability patch, they're able to keep, shield stacking. Whereas Rakan, you're probably only going to get your shields off once or twice, maybe, if you're counting only like that first time he's able to cast it, you get that free one right after. So they gave him a little bit of power back into those shields, and they gave him a good bit of healing or a healing boost on his Q, as well as reducing the W cooldown by 2 seconds, I believe, at each rank. I know for a fact that at rank 1 it's dropped by 2 seconds. So Rakan also in a decent spot, maybe going to be seen back in the meta, maybe not, but either way, looking forward to seeing how things are getting shaken up here in the bot lane.
Yeah, some big support changes coming through, going on over from our resident support player to the other most important role on the Rift, our jungler extraordinaire in Kongman. Kong, what changes do you see on 12.11 that have the biggest impact in your eyes that you want to highlight the most here?
Now, see, this is the part where I would mention a jungle champion, but I'm actually not going to do that. Mainly because Sejuani and Shyvana got nothing in this patch. It's like they just don't care about them. But
well,
instead, I'm going to be
Elveth,
jumping...
who's like worse Shyvana, so
yeah, the worst Shyvana. True. Instead, I'm actually going to be visiting the top lane first, because Tryndamere got another buff. That's right, the man, the myth, the right arm who's stronger than his left arm. They basically reverted his Q back to what it used to be, so that's fantastic. But the big thing is his ultimate. Cooldown reduced by 10 seconds at each level. So that means at level 3, it's now 80 seconds old. I love how our producer just said that's stupid.
I mean, in the industry, you sometimes hear the producer referred to as the word of God. It's not incorrect in this instance. If Mark Merrill on high can hear the call of the Archangel Salt Spreader, he is letting you know that that's stupid. Revert Tryndamere buff.
Nah, I think this is a healthy buff, and if anyone disapproves of me, just play around it. Like, it's so easy to play around the Tryndamere ult. You can easily bait them into using it. And the other big thing I want to jump into is if you will take a look at, I guess the big picture, they put everything, like, you see all the nerfs and all the buffs and everything. There's a champion on here that did technically get a buff, but they listed it under a bug fix. Okay. And this is going towards the mid lane and the jungle for Qiyana. So to all, like, 7 Qiyana mains out there, all 7 of you.
That's more than that.
There's tons of them in Chinese high elo. Not here, but in Chinese high elo, they're all Qiyana mains all the time.
Okay, all 9 of you. Basically, your Q, I'm just going to read it exactly. They fixed a bug where Qiyana's Q would sometimes not deal damage to enemies moving towards her. This bug should be resolved, but this bug should be resolved, but due to the extremely low reproduction rate, we cannot be 100% certain.
Watch her win rate go up like 6% or something absurd. That would be pretty wild. Yeah, they were supposed to buff assassins in general on this patch, but then everybody on Reddit was like, no, why would you? The durability update was supposed to make it so I don't get one shot no more. Don't buff the assassins up. Blah, 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 blah. And they were like, okay, we won't buff the assassins this patch, even though they're all still building Gore Drinker and stuff that isn't assassin items, because they're not really in a healthy spot right now. But we'll give them another 2 weeks before we see where they go on those sorts of changes. But definitely some good stuff highlighted on the patch from the both of you. I look forward to seeing Tryndamere ruining my solo queue games once again very soon. I'm going to bring back AP Tryndamere while we're at it. That sounds great. I've been theory crafting this, by the way, just to rant on it real quick. You could go like a CDR hybrid Tryndamere build. If you could get Cosmic Drive and Navori, you would have so much sticking power with the Cosmic Drive passive, and you would have so much CDR. I'm going to make this work. Me mage, me trend, me spin, me win. That's going to be the mantra here back in Season 12 again. But moving
Spin to win.
on. Spin to win. It's always worked. It's a League of Legends axiom for a reason. But moving on from the patch changes that you guys elucidated on so beautifully, we do, of course, have a matchup here tonight to start covering. And we are in unprecedented territory here for the VRS this split as compared to the last time around, where Kongman is still leading the pack in predictions. It's a slim margin. I believe he's 9 for 10. 9 for 10 in total game score? Is that correct? Based on our
it is.
most
Prediction,
recent stats?
prediction game total, I am 9 to 10. Both of you are 8 to 10. And we
So
are currently
that's-
tied for teams winning correctly.
I think we've always guessed the same team. Actually, no, I think I've guessed a
Yeah,
different
you
team
guessed a different
twice.
team.
Like twice. and
Twice.
got it wrong once.
That's how we're still tied on that.
Yep.
Gotcha. So
Maybe,
things
maybe
in
tonight will be
flux.
different.
Maybe
We've all
so,
guessed.
Maybe so.
You know what? Never mind. That's a spoiler.
Yeah, look at this man.
Shogun
Yeah, don't
about,
Shogun any secrets.
about to blow the lid off the whole shebang. I mean, let's get into it as we see our predictions coming through. We got Team Ambition Sakura, who is, one of our mainstay leader of the pack teams in the VRS over the past couple of splits, in some of our independent tournaments as well. Just looked absolutely cracked. And, if it wasn't for a little team called Dorado, who knows, maybe Team Ambition would be our best team in the VRS, but you got to get through those dogs, Dog Zeta. Every time they seem to pop up and bring it on home. But Team Ambition's so strong. They're looking really good in this group right now. I got to give it to them 2-1. Hedging my bets, as I always do, because I just expect these series to go 3 games every time. Shogun, what about you? Who do you have pegged as our victor here tonight?
I think it's pretty safe to say that Team Ambition Sakura should have this one. Pretty locked down. That might be, of course, some bias of having, been able to bond with them over some hide and seek last week. So sorry to Wolfpack Mingos for you guys have a great name, and I would actually be really happy if you ended up winning. I'd actually be kind of like silently cursing myself for trusting the judgment of others and letting them influence my decision just a little bit, but we'll get to that in a second. But I do think they are going to go 2-1. I do think they have the opportunity to take a game off of Team Ambition Sakura. And I also pretty much always expect these to go 2-1 because I think it's pretty safe to say that one of these teams will have like an off game and maybe be able to bounce back in one of the other ones.
Yep. I think that's pretty sound logic coming through from you there, Shogun. Kongman, is it going to be vintage Kongman or modern Kongman? Are you going against the tide or with it? What's the direction here on the prediction tonight, my friend?
Alright, so for those of you who don't know, Wolfpack Mingos, this is their first time on a Victoris stream, and they've been with us since last season, and they even made it to quarterfinals, and they never even got a chance to be on stream. So this is their chance to prove themselves. They're going to be pumped, they're going to be ready, but unfortunately they're going to crack under the pressure. And as you know, Team Ambition Sakura will always have a special place in my heart for breaking my losing streak last season, which is why I'm predicting Team Ambition Sakura 2-0.
Well, would you look at that? Once again, we're all in agreement. So the only room here for somebody to pull ahead, I do believe, will tie in total game score if it goes 2-1. We all will, or Kongman will pull ahead by 1 game overall if it goes to 0, but nobody's really getting a big advantage based on predictions tonight. We're getting down to the wire as the season rolls on who is going to be our big brain champion. But I'm glad to see we're all in harmony. You know, we're pretty much on the same wavelength a lot of the time. I feel like on the VRS desk, we get along pretty well. So I'm glad to see for tonight we are all in agreement that Team Ambition should take it home, and we all have our biased reasons for that, right? You know, they broke Kongman's curse last split. I got the pink hair and the cherry blossom background, so it's like thematically it goes very well. And Shogun liked playing hide and seek with them last week. Oh, Wolfpack Mingos are pink?
I believe. I mean, they're supposed to be like it's like flamingos, but it's like Wolfpack.
Yeah, it's a flamingo with like little stick figures drawn on it.
Okay, I'm not sure I made that out when I looked at their logo before. I'll have to take a second look at that, as we are still waiting for Champ Select to roll on around. I'm just waiting on an update on that. Last I checked, players were not even in the lobby yet, so we'll, have to entertain you with the usually chaotic conversations that we have on the desk. Going back to some of the exploits that we have had recently with the game, I played a lot of Lee Sin on 12.11. It's only been out 2 days, but I've been playing Lee Sin top. I feel like it could be meta again. They gave him big 80 ratio buffs. They gave him more base attack damage, and he feels pretty good, actually, playing up in the top lane. What about you guys? Anything you're excited to try outside of what we already covered, or anything that you have been trying on the patch?
I gotta mention Assassins real quick. Not that I have been playing them, but it felt like I actually was kind of holding on to this one, because we made it seem like Assassins are like struggling, which they are, but like we're saying like Assassins are struggling like it's a bad thing. Like, oh no, the 0 and 2 Kiana can't one-shot me. Ah, darn! Like, yes, that should happen. Now the 5 and 0 Kiana should probably murder me. Like, that guy should unalive me real good. That makes sense, and that can still happen. The whole point of Assassins is that they snowball in lane, or at least leave lane, and use the resource of another lane and get kills that way, and they have their support and ADC, or their bot lane, or their top lane, help them set up kills so they can get the kill. They shouldn't be going bot lane to an ADC who's, like, out of position and just murdering him, which could also happen in bot lane, but they shouldn't be able to just dive alone 1v1 an ADC when they have 0 kills and 0 resources and just walk away like that was perfectly normal to ever happen. That's kind of messed up. That's not how the game should go ever. That's kind of how the game was going before the durability patch. And keep in mind, I'm saying this as someone who doesn't even play ADC, but gets to see what happens to them every second of every day that they're trying to live their best life. Or you'll see like an ADC who's like 10 and 2, and then a Fizz who's 1 and 5 goes, "Hoya! Shark!" and then he's just dead. And then you're just like, huh, that's kind of weird.
That's a good
We all
impression.
know.
Thank you.
We all know 80 carry players are in general cantankerous, a little bit complainy as a class of players, but I do agree it doesn't feel good to get one shot. And your wonderful rant actually reminds me of, you guys seen the clip? It's some EU streamer. He's playing Kiana, and he's like 0-2 and 30 CS. He's playing jungle Kiana. He's 0-2 and like 30 CS at, I want to say, like 17 minutes, and he has Gore Drinker, and he goes all in on Nady carry and doesn't kill her, and he's freaking out. Where's my damage? Fix it, Riot! Where's my damage? It's like, bro, you're 0-2 and you've built a bruiser item. Like, why do you expect to one-shot this 80 carry? This 80 carry who's ahead of you, bro. Like, come on. It's embarrassing.
This is how I thought. There's a play where Kiana's like the durability patch. He's like 2 levels down on the mid laner, and he gets him to 1 HP with like Ignite and Conqueror, or like he didn't ignite or something. And he gets him to 1 HP, and he's 2 levels down. I'm like, bro, the durability patch, yeah, congratulations. The durability patch would have helped you to not play the game correctly and be rewarded for it. That's wild. It's like, oh, it's almost like you have to combo perfectly now in order to get rewarded for it, which I like a little bit more, because that ends up with...
Or you have to be really ahead, which makes Assassins feel better for the rest of us. You have to actually put the work in instead of just pressing a button and making people disappear, which, is the pinnacle of gameplay, of course.
Yeah.
Kongman, do you have any strong opinions when it comes to Assassins? I know you're our resident tanky boy.
Yeah, I am a big resident tank boy, so it is pretty nice watching those assassins try and jump on me, and I go, okay. But
Chad
going back
Ramus.
to okay. But going back to your previous question about any spicy things we're playing or anything, there is something I've been brewing a little bit. It's still in the works, mainly because the jungle clear is the worst part of what I'm doing right now. But Fiora jungle,
Oh.
well, let me tell you.
How do you gank? There are certain
Yeah.
off-meta things I'm a
So-
big fan of,
so
I can
here's the
see,
thing.
but...
Chilling Smite procs her ultimate.
Wait, what?
Yeah, not Red Smite, but Chilling Smite
You can pop the
Genuinely?
Vital from her
Yes.
ultimate with...
with Chilling Smite.
That has to be a bug.
That's a feature.
Don't worry, God. I can deal with
are
this
you-
after we get there.
So you can stab, walk stab, slide stab, flash, smite, and they did.
That is fascinating.
It is honestly, like I said, if the jungle clear was better, it could be top tier. Shogun, don't shake your head at me. I see that.
Where's the gank
Look
setup?
at me.
Where's the gank setup?
What do you mean the gank setup?
Okay,
You just wait
well,
for them to overextend. That's literally every gank ever.
What in the gold did I just? Excuse me.
Okay, Mr.
No,
Silver.
just wait for them to overextend, bro. What? What? Who's just gonna?
And
Dude,
but it's the durability update, Kong. You have to understand, like, they can be overextended. If you have no
Oh, that's
CC, they will just walk past you all the way back to turret. As speaking of walking on into something, it's time to walk on into Champ Select. Gentlemen, have a great game 1 of Team Ambition Soccer versus Wolfpack Mingos. I will see you after the fact. Adios and good luck.
Thank you so much, Dodge, as we are getting into the draft here. As yeah, Fiora Jungle. We'll see if we see that one in game number 1 here.
Hey,
I have
you
to
might.
doubt it. I don't think so. As it's like, why would you go? Just take Smite top. If you like really want to do that,
Ew,
just take
no.
Smite top. Just take Smite top.
No,
Why? Why bother
'Cause if
jungling?
you-
You're just gonna
'cause it-
die.
because then you get the minion tax.
That's true. I forgot. I guess you don't have to buy the Smite item. Yeah, just don't buy the Smite item. Easy. Just keep it at a 450 Smite the entire time.
Yeah, okay.
Instead, if you just no, because then you can't
Oh.
like proc the Smite. You can't proc the Smite then. So you
Exactly.
have to buy the item. It's just not good. It's just not good. It's just,
Yeah, okay. Keep telling yourself that.
what
Yeah,
do
I
you
like
do?
how you're still arguing about this, but yet you don't see that Wukong over there that just got picked.
Well, that's a
Wukong
Wukong
just got like
jungle.
uber buffed for the
He
jungle.
got buffed,
Yeah, like a bunch of stuff happened to Wukong jungle.
but he was already
What do you mean? Okay, our producer told me he got nerfed.
okay. It got nerfed. That makes way more sense. I was like, no way did they buff.
Let me look at this.
Our producer is trying to fix. Our analyst is
Listen.
trolling just a little bit.
Listen. I am pulling up the patch notes. You might be right, and I'm just
It
stupid.
says on like the preview, it says nerfs, and then the last one's Wukong, and I'm like,
Okay, I was actually looking at Zeri for a second.
oh, Zeri got
Yeah, Zeri got a gig, but I was like, this is a lot of changes.
Hence why we're seeing Zeri now. Apparently, they don't think that the Wukong nerfs were enough, which I probably agree with. They also don't think the Senna nerfs were enough. Now, Senna Karma, not a huge fan of. I think it works. I think it works to start trying to counter the Zeri. It's an interesting idea. Senna is also someone that's going to be able to outrange Zeri towards the mid to late game. Senna starts infinitely scaling with that attack range, so that's going to be very interesting to keep an eye on. Like looking down towards the second half of the bans, I imagine we'll be seeing some support bans, things that would go really well with the Zeri. I think Lulu's good. I think I'm looking at some. Sorry, I actually
Wait, was that Dark Souls?
90 tabs. As we're going to see probably like a Renata or a Zillion ban. I think both of those would be pretty good. If Renata is something that the support for Wolfpack Mingos actually plays, I would go ahead and get rid of Renata here, but I think Zillion as well is something that's really annoying to deal with. Yumi, of course, is anyone that really speeds up the Zeri is going to be annoying, so Zeri getting taken off the table is pretty solid as well. You could go ahead and pair that up with someone annoying that were like a pretty large bruiser in the top lane. As the Zillion gets taken off by Wolfpack Mingos,
Nasus
which
jungle?
is could be Nasus jungle. Actually, I really disagree with the Zillion ban. I think that's what you wanted for yourself, like
they
really
maybe-
badly.
Did they maybe think they were in pick phase? They just
I
fumbled the
hope
bag.
not.
Were
That
they
would
like
be, that'd be
were they
unlucky.
like were they like our friend Mr. Gurf and they fumbled the bag?
Well, that you can call him out like that. That's not that's not cool. As we're gonna have Nasus locked in to answer. That is going to be the Gragas. I see Gragas going top lane. That's the only thing that really makes sense there. No, don't lock that in. Don't. Actually, I'm hyped for this. I'm really hyped for this. This is funny. This is funny, and it is like 100% locked.
No.
He's griefing you. He's griefing you. He's griefing you. Okay. They're hovering Fiora jungle, which is not getting locked in because look at who they're playing so far. This is going to be obviously mid lane singed, and definitely not anything else.
Don't wait. They're still picking.
You're
Come on.
getting baited.
Come
You're
on.
getting baited. You're getting
I'm
like
being baited.
you're getting giga baited. Like you know you're getting like just absolutely baited.
Look. If I
That's
see
how
the
you know
Mora,
that they have
I'm
bait.
hyped.
It's not happening. That is not
It
happening.
might.
No, the Mordekaiser's like no Fiora jungle.
Okay,
Like
listen.
you-
I
you already said-
I was not giving confirmation that was locked in. Okay.
You were already saying that the clear is like bad, which is enough that Fiora jungle has too many downsides.
Okay. Remember, the clear is bad for a player like me. For a player like them, that's different.
I don't think it
Because
matters.
they're
I
just
think,
better than me.
I think if you played Fiora jungle and you go okay, so say you go red, blue, Gromp, or I guess since they're red side in this case, they could full clear, so they could go blue, Gromp, Wolves. By the time they're walking into Raptors, if you're Wukong, you can clear your red, start walking up, and probably try to either take his red or like do some sort of clear where you hit like either try to hit level 3 first and then like invade immediately as long as your lanes have prio, and you just kill Fiora. Fiora dies 100% of the time. Fiora does not get to live against the Wukong who walks into her jungle because she'll have no HP and she doesn't really have the greatest level 1 through 5 dueling potential against someone like Wukong. So I'm not sold. I'm definitely not sold. You have some good takes. Not one of them. This is not one of them. This one I will not back down from.
I mean, hey, at least you kind of accepted the Urgot jungle that I suggested last season.
I don't know if I...
Because that
I don't- that one's like okay. At least that one has gank set up. Like that one you can E and like throw them over you. You have like a gap closer of some kind. You have an ult that you can use to secure kills without actually having to get close to them to proc anything. So I mean, there's that. I respect the Urgot definitely a lot more than I respect the Fiora.
It's
But I
something
just,
more
I just can't
satisfying
respect Fiora.
than standing in the dragon pit and ulting a Lulu that's under tower.
I mean, sometimes these things happen, you know?
It's pretty funny.
For sure. As we are going to see the Mordekaiser... Okay, now I'm a little confused, because Mordekaiser is being taken top lane. Is it... So it's Nasus mid, is what's happening.
It might be Karma mid Nasus support.
You know what? I think you're right. I think you're 100% correct. I completely forgot Nasus support was a thing. That is 100... No, that's gotta be what it is. And... Yep, that's hype. That's hype.
And he gets it done again.
I think this is where Team Ambition Sakura may take their first loss of the series. Not a huge fan of Nasus. I've seen Nasus being picked into stuff like Zeri, like Kalista as well. I think those two picks are something that you can pick Nasus in, and it's like, it's a really good counter. But then it's like, what does Nasus do after that? You really have to like make him do. He doesn't like set up anything for the team. You don't have a lot of engage on this team comp. The only thing you really have is Mordekaiser R, where you look at the other team. I'm a little scared because they have Wolfpack Mingos, sorry. I'm gonna say Migos probably at least a couple more times during this stream. But Wolfpack Mingos have a good bit of engage with Gragas. They have Wukong, they have the Ashe. So I mean, they have a lot of solid ways of making plays around their team comp. So it's going to be interesting to see how Team Ambition Sakura could try to disengage from that, and if they're ever going to be able to engage on, Wolfpack Mingos if they're not just randomly getting caught out or getting like pushed up.
So, judging by the looks of this, we are having the Ashe support, and fun. If they don't swap, we actually have Nasus ADC instead of support.
So I could see it being fasting Senna, and then giving the Nasus over to the ADC, who may be more comfortable farming, more comfortable playing the Nasus, or maybe their Senna or their support is more comfortable on the Senna. So I don't hate this at all. It just depends on what everyone's more comfortable doing. So if Noatak can absolutely just pop off on the Nasus, I'd love to see it. But it'll be a little interesting to watch. I think Nasus definitely needs to be farming. It is weird though, because you want to be trying to like, getting that W as maxed out as possible to deal with Zeri. But instead, you're going to be probably maxing Q in this situation, which is, I think it's fine. I think maxing W second is 100% fine. I don't know what you would do on support. I know support Nasus would do something crazy, or they might even like max W, might max E. I'm pretty sure you just didn't level Q was a big thing about support Nasus, but that's not what we're seeing. We are seeing an actual farming Nasus who could get terrifying, and that actually gives me a little bit more hope for the side of Team Ambition Sakura, because it means that the Nasus is going to be useful later on in the game.
Yeah, it is definitely going to be interesting. And looking towards the top side, Gragas versus Mordekaiser. I kind of enjoy this matchup, really, for both of them. What do you think?
It's a little annoying for Mordekaiser, I think, because you shouldn't be able to kill Gragas if Gragas plays it, to like 50% of its capabilities. I feel like Gragas can just kind of use, once he has R, I think he definitely doesn't die, as long as he stays close enough to his tower. The main thing, if Mordekaiser plays it extremely well and just smurfs on the Gragas, he does have opportunities to kill the Gragas if he can, like, E Gragas behind the Mordekaiser, then ult him. All of a sudden, the ring gets a lot, or it's in a completely different position than if you eat him and then you don't eat him past yourself. So that'll be interesting to watch and see how these two end up fighting against each other, but Gragas should be fine up there. And of course, you look at the mid lane, it's probably just going to be a farm fest there.
Yeah, honestly, like, I feel like Karma mid is pretty good, but I feel like Victor just comes out just a little bit ahead, because I don't believe Victor got any changes this patch. No, he did not. Okay, our producer's trying to tell us to pick Ivern. We're not going through that again.
I think Ivern's pretty hype. Ivern mid is pretty hype. Definitely more hype than Karma, but I think Karma does add some like much needed mobility to this comp, because they need something. They don't have anything that hits the go in button, so having Karma being able to speed everybody up gives them a little bit of an ability to actually just run at the end of the team. So I guess, Ivern has a route that gives people dash, but it's the slowest moving route in the universe, so it becomes a little bit more difficult to get your team in.
Well, I hope that all of you at home got hit by that slow-moving route, because we don't want you to go anywhere, because we're going to be sending it to a very fun match right after this break.
Welcome to the world, no heroes and villains. Welcome to the war, we've only begun. So pick up your weapon and face it. There's blood on the ground, go and take it. You get one shot to make it out alive. So higher and higher you chase it. It's deep in your bones, go and take it. This is your moment. Now is your time, so prove yourself.
Alrighty, everybody, we are back with game number 1. The Wolfpack Mingos on the blue side facing off against Team Ambition Sakura on the red side. I am very excited for this matchup. Got a bit of a wacky composition from each side. Wolfpack Mingos do have a more, I was going to say more traditional, but they have an Ashe support, whereas the other side in Team Ambition Sakura have the ADC Nasus. So, pretty excited. I don't think we really got to touch a whole lot on the bot lane, so I want to hear what you have to say about what we can expect from this bot lane matchup.
All right. Well, before we discuss that, looks like we might be. Is this just a casual standoff, or are we seeing an invade here?
I think they're just going to get vision, if anything, just ward it out. I mean, as you can see, we have the Senna and the Nasus just getting some vision where they can. They're getting vision on the red buff, so they'll know if the jungler Wukong starts on the red buff. And 0 wards placed in response, which I think is really weird, actually. At least I don't think... Oh, no, Ashe got a defensive ward, so this ward essentially does nothing, as they will clear it out. But even them clearing it out still gives them the information of Wukong starting on red buff. You just now don't know if he's going to full clear or just do buff, and then reverse clear.
Yeah. And so talking about this bot lane matchup, I want to point out that both Nasus and Senna both have Fleet Footwork as their main rune, and then you look over at the side of the Zeri Ashe, and we have Lethal Tempo and Arcane Comment. I feel like I just haven't seen enough Senna with Fleet Footwork. Is this a common thing, Mr. Support Player?
To my knowledge, yes. I think it's for the weak, but it's one of the only good things you can really take, as you're going to see Nasus get bullied for sure here, as that's just going to be pretty normal operation, pretty standard stuff. As we did see the Wukong go for a bit of a scuffed clear here. So he goes red, he went red, went into Raptors, and now he's killing the blue buff. So after he kills the blue buff, he should still be level 2 until he hits the Gromp, as long as the math didn't get changed on the jungle clearing. Nope, he kills it, so he's still level 2, yeah, so he'll hit level 3 off of Gromp. Something that I want to note here is this actually could have been a bit of a better gank. He could have gone from his buff and then immediately gone to the blue buff and gotten the Gromp. He actually would have been on a perfect timing to gank that Mordekaiser when he was walking up, and would have put himself in a really bad position, and Wukong could have, collapsed on that pretty fast. So we'll see him still try something here. Gragas does get the body slam flash off. Now Jaxmane in some trouble, gonna get slowed up. Will he go down though? Not at all, not in any danger of falling, and will be just fine. We'll probably have to teleport back though.
I do enjoy how Nana Jaxmane knows Mordekaiser just so well, because he didn't even use his flash. He just casually walked away and going, yeah, I know you guys don't have any stuns, you can't do anything, so I could just walk away from this and be 100% A-okay.
Yeah, absolutely. Really love to see that there. So you are seeing Ashe doing her best to bully them out. I am curious as to what Ashe is going to build this game. Probably going to go the Mandate build. For those who don't know, your ult gets on like a 30-second cooldown, or like a 25 to 30-second cooldown. Hold that thought, though, as Victor's in a bit of a bad situation. Gwen is going to not get stunned up because she uses that W really quick. Make sure that she doesn't get CC there, and will be just fine, and starts retreating back into the jungle real quick, or into the river to go ahead and back, because that's going to be the root landing right onto that Ashe. Ashe has to keep running away, but will be just fine, popping a pot, and no first blood will be drawn quite yet.
We're only 4 minutes into the game, no first blood, but I mean, hey, these are the games you like to watch, not where it's an early bloodbath, but the nice ones where it's a lot of poking, a lot of looking down at each other, a lot of jungle clear. It's these nice peaceful games that you know will always turn out to be the big banger games later on.
Yeah, for sure, and I'm excited to see if this does end up being an absolute banger. After a pretty slow early game here, but it is, still got some time left in the early game for sure, so things could heat up. Only level 3 on the bot laners for now. You are going to see the Victor get rooted up, get hit with some CC, or get hit with that Q there from the Karma, but will be just fine, as that's going to be the W swinging wide just barely from the Ashe. And yeah, just a lot of slow moving parts so far. Wukong is backing out. Looked like he was trying to get some priority in the bot lane. Maybe go for Dragon, but that's not going to be the case. It's going to go ahead and reset. Still hasn't taken those Krugs yet. Skirmish in the top side shouldn't lead to anything crazy. Probably not going to see a lot of kills coming through without that jungle help, It does make you wonder, where do you think First Blood is going to take place on? Which team do you think is going to get it in this first match here?
I mean, it really depends on if Wukong is going to be camping topside, because I feel like Gragas Wukong could just instantly like delete Mordekaiser once they get to higher level. There is actually going to be a pause here real quick. But honestly, I think Team Ambition's going to get First Blood onto the Ashe, just because we've seen her get a little mispositioned. KD playing the center has been landing their roots extremely well. We haven't seen every root thrown out, but every time we jump down to the bot lane, we always see Ashe rooted. So it's definitely one of those very interesting interactions that Ashe always seems to escape with like barely any health, if we're being honest.
Yeah, it does seem like that, as that's going to be the root landing right onto the Zeri. Zeri's going to be taking a little bit of damage, but will be just fine right after. As Gwen is running on down, maybe this is where we'll see it, but Wukong is coming to hover as well, so we are going to get that classic Riot Games pause right there, or the spectator pause, as a producer is doing his best to try to fix everything that is happening at the moment, but as looks like it's still paused. The spectator client is a lovely thing, as finally we get back underway, as here comes the Gwen and the Senna and the Nasus. Nasus doesn't have a lot of mana, but he doesn't need it to take down Chandler Clark, as he fails the E. Will be taken down for First Blood as the Zeri goes down in the bot lane.
Okay, so I was about half right on
Yeah.
who we get about First Blood. I'll say 75% right, because I had the
I'll
right
give it to
team
you. Yeah.
and the right lane. Just the wrong champion.
Not Jaxman, not in any trouble at all. Gragas thought maybe he was going to be able to find the kill. Still probably could if Not Jaxman does ego this a little bit, as Lanier ready to go in. Wukong is here as well, though. Gwen in the area. Wukong going to get rooted up. He's going to go ahead and try to secure this CS before the ADC can get any of that XP. So, good job on Wukong. Going to start running up, as Not Jaxman is in a perfectly fine situation, as the Gragas has no mana to really work with. Doesn't matter. Getting a pause on my end real quick. Flash away from Not a Jaxman, and he will get out of there.
Yeah, definitely very interesting on Jaxman trying to re-engage, knowing that Gragas doesn't quite have his flash up yet. I think he might have thought the flash was up, and he was just trying to bait it out, but very unfortunate success there from Not a Jaxman. He still hasn't backed yet. He started to back and then he stopped. Come on, Jaxman.
He will get out of there very soon. Gragas will also leave. I gotta say, oh wait, in the mid lane, looks like Victor could be in some trouble, taking a lot of damage, trying to find the kill, but now Wukong is here to answer back. Does not have the ultimate himself, though. As a result, will not be able to do more than scare the enemy team away.
Yep, and as we take a quick jump down to the bot side, we do see Ashe getting her nice little poke damage, but Gwen has not left this mid lane yet, and Victor is not in a very safe position at the moment.
Not at all, especially being flashless after that last game, because that's going to be the stun going down on the Karma! What the outplay from the Victor, but he still gets taken down right back by the mid laner of TAS. It's a 1-for-1 trade, but honestly one that did not need to happen at all. And if you are Victor, I think you are perfectly happy with getting a kill in return for your own demise.
Yeah, because you are currently up 7 CS, and since you, I believe he actually died first, you will get a slightly faster respawn. And right now, both jugglers are just kind of taking care of the mid lane.
Chandler will just get absolutely smacked down by Noah Talk there in the bot lane. Love to see that. Hunter Wolfsteel is running away. The Wukong's gonna flash in! It's outplayed with the snip as the Gwen takes him down. Oh my goodness. Wukong getting a little bit too feisty there in the mid lane. Gotta be wondering what exactly he was thinking. Maybe he thought he had the damage, or just at least didn't think that the Gwen had the damage to take him down there.
I think he maybe thought he would be able to catch Gwen by surprise, but I feel like Gwen just read him like a book and just immediately turned on and went, hey, walk into this for me.
It definitely seemed to be the case, as now Mordekaiser is trying to fight back against the Gragas. Gragas is doing a good bit of damage, though, trying to find the duel up here. Will be just fine for now. Mordekaiser not really able to do any lasting damage, as the body slam will miss, still trying to find a little bit more, but will not be able to. Meanwhile, in the jungle, Wukong going ahead and taking that blue buff away, will start farming up. Has a little bit of priority on mid lane. Gwen is backing. If you do that, could probably go for the Rift Herald, but Alas, he does not know that that is the case, as that will be the ult coming out from Nada Jackman, trying to find the kill onto Gragas. Gragas doing what he can to outplay this one, trying to find the body slam. Maybe once it's back up, here comes Wukong to try to turn this play around, and that will be enough yet again to scare him away, as that's the Ash Arrow from downtown. Will be able enough to find the kill. The sun comes through. The shield is not enough. It's just too late, as Senna fails to save her mid laner, and a great play from the opposing mid laner of the Ashe to set his mid laner up for that kill. As now the action is not over quite yet. Sorry to cut you off, as they will try to fight this in the bot lane, as Zeri's going to get very low. Chandler Clark should go down here, as that will be Hunter Wolfsteel picking up another kill, chasing after the Ashe. Will he be able to find the kill? Maybe. Yes, he will. So much damage coming in from that needlework there, as now they're trying to find another kill in the top lane. As, oh wait, that's the other side. Sorry, my bad, as that will be the Wolfpack Mingos striking back on the opposite side of the map, with Gragas picking up his first kill of the game.
Yep, that is a very convoluted 2-for-2 trade for both teams, but unfortunately, Team Ambition comes out on top here, because at 10.5 minutes they do finally take the dragon. Sure, the Ashe vision does kind of spot it at the last second, but unfortunately you can't really do much with the Ashe bird.
No, you can't. And I'm wondering, at this point, what is Wolfpack Mingos gonna do to try to get themselves back into this one?
I feel like their best option here, honestly, is to try and get this Victor fed. I mean, he already has a nice lead, but if you can extend that lead with Victor in this current patch, I feel like Victor just shreds a lot of Team Ambition's comp.
Yeah, that definitely would seem to be the case. And I've been playing for that mid-game, late-game team fight is going to be one of their strong suits as well. Starting to stop the scaling of Nasus would be helpful, but probably not going to happen, as the Enchanted Crystal Arrow will be fired off, does get the stun off as well, as that's going to be Rift Herald dropped in the mid lane, trying to get this Victor ahead, as you were saying. Meanwhile, in the top lane, we're going to see Gragas trying to duel this Mordekaiser. Mordekaiser going to get a pretty big shield, as he'll be able to take down that control ward. That ward does get immediately replaced, but TJ Lanier wants to try to keep fighting this one. Explosive Cask will drop. That's a lot of damage going down onto Nada Jackman. Meanwhile, in the jungle, there's going to be a fight. That's going to be Hunter Wolfsteel in a bad position. Get shut down by the Wukong. Wukong's going to keep going. Is not going to find anything more than that, as now they're going to see the E from Ashe try to get themselves some vision. They should already know. No one's really coming. You should have an idea of where the Karma is. You know exactly where the Mordekaiser is. Wasn't really necessary on that situation. Was a little bit early, but still. Maybe trying to find some vision. I can't remember if it does give it vision there. That could be a good plan, as now Karma's trying to duel the Victor. Victor does just barely get that stun off on the Karma. No tower here means that Karma has nowhere to run except for away. Maybe trying to outplay this one, though, with the help of the minions, will make this a little bit difficult. And with the Senna ultimate, helps the outplay come through. The Ashe is now off the target this time, which means that with Karma using her flash in exchange for the Victors, will manage to get Karma a kill as well. So really nice stuff all around from Team Ambition Sakura.
Yeah, Karma might be lacking a little bit in the CS department, but she's still doing a very good job keeping this lane stabilized against this Victor.
Yeah, for sure. As we see a bit of a failed gank up in the top lane, Gragas will go ahead and stay, though. Isn't really scared of a half health Mordekaiser. And then like 3/4 Gwen, as Mordekaiser is going under the tower. Okay, you really don't need to be scared of him if he's doing this, as he won't be able to die, unfortunately. I feel like Gragas could have expended a little bit more, maybe that body slam. As Wukong could be in a bad position. Does get hit by the root. What an excellent root from the Senna. Senna gonna have to start running away, though. Does get hit by that slow. No ultimate available for the Ashe Throwers. Now, here comes Eri, though, but with the ultimate, the Cyclone from Wukong will get one kill. Trying to gonna find another onto Noatak. Noatak will retreat under the tower and will be safe for now. Meanwhile, on the top lane, we're going to see Victor. Will he be able to find the kill? He does get ulted up by the Mordekaiser. Mordekaiser still trying to find the kill, though. A lot of damage coming through, as Gwen will be here as well. Victor running for his life. The needlework is coming through. Will it be enough damage? No flash onto the Victor. Should mean that it's enough. 1 HP. Does not find the kill. Tries to get the fade away. But Hunter Wolfsteel ends up paying dearly for that one. Will still try to find this kill. Will still chase this one down. but any further than that means that she could get collapsed on. She realizes this, she recognizes it, decides to not greed a little bit more.
Yeah, Gwen unfortunately did miss the first needle, which is unfortunately the one needle you needed to land to confirm that kill. Otherwise, that would have just been an instant death.
Red Smite also would have confirmed the kill. Could have also happened if he does end up using the Red Smite a little bit earlier. Unfortunately, that was not the case, but could have been interesting. Maybe would have been up 4-1. As we will see Mordekaiser come on back to the top tower. Starts getting this this Gragas here to shove off, as I don't think he'll be able to actually threaten the kill. He hasn't been able to threaten the kill pretty much the entire game. Gragas, of course, as I mentioned earlier, really good at, surviving in these lanes, kind of negating what the opposing top laner is all about.
Yeah, definitely have to agree with you there. And as we are seeing the Mountain Drake spawn, and it seems that both teams are kind of wanting to look for this dragon. I mean, Team Ambition does only have one dragon compared to Mingo's 0. So, I mean, I guess this is a good dragon for Team Ambition to pick up, but Wolfgang really seems like they really want to pick this one up here.
As the teleport does come through from the Gragas, trying to find the play. Enchanted Crystal Arrow right onto the back line there. Sena's going to go down. The Cyclone is spinning around. Noatak still doing a lot of damage, though. Will finally drop as Karma over the wall gets a kill for herself, but it's not enough to save her team. 1 for 3 is a dire situation for TAS, and it looks like Wolfpack Mingos will at least go up on dragons, or sorry, will tie up the dragons, tie up the kills, and are up on gold. There it is. As Mordekaiser might be able to get himself a tower to go ahead and even that out just a little bit.
Yeah, Wolfpack does have about 1,000 gold lead. Mordekaiser, yeah, I believe he takes this tower here. Yeah, he takes that tower, so he does help close the gold lead just a little bit. It's not much, but it is enough to kind of like help push the team. But unfortunately, Victor looks like he's going to be taking this mid tower to just kind of cancel that back out.
And pretty much all alone there, as that's going to be a lot of damage dropping onto Senna, which means they can't continue any more than that. As we will see this bot lane tower get threatened, as now here comes the Gragas stopping that back. Victor also on the way up. Could be a bad situation. That's going to be the ultimate coming down from the Mordekaiser. Mordekaiser not able to land much onto the Gragas, though. Gragas outplaying him as much as he can. It's going to be a bad situation for the Mordekaiser. Mordekaiser is running for his life. Will be just fine, though. The explosive cash just barely misses. Now Jaxmane turning around to try to fight back. Here they come as well. Will they be able to go in? Victor has to try to run away. Will be able to outrun that one for now. The sun's going to drop onto Non-Jaxmane. They're trying to bait them through, as it will work, as Non-Jaxmane will drop. The ultimate comes out yet again too late from Caddy. Caddy has to keep running back. Stun. The root is going to hit down onto the Gragas, but just not enough to find the kill. And instead, the Mingos will go up yet another kill. 9-8. They take the lead. They have the lead in gold still. And Wolfpack Mingos looking on track to win this game, but is still pretty close. Still anyone's game.
Yeah, I mean, Team Ambition just looked like they were very uncoordinated during that fight, because you did watch the Mordekaiser kind of walk in, and at one point, Notak and Katie did try to turn around to walk away, and Jaxmane was like, nah, mate, watch this. Want to watch my epic play as I keep running in. But if we pull up the gold charts real quick, yeah, if you look at the gold difference, I mean, yeah, Wukong does currently have a lot of gold, but hang on, there's something happening down here.
Yeah, teleport is coming through as well. 2 teleports, that is. Will they be able to make anything happen there? Here's not a Jaxmane. Is it enough? They're just going to keep kiting him out. He has no ultimate to use for now. Karma's here as well, but on the top lane, Wukong's just responding with a tower of his own. Will they be able to re-engage? The ultimate is not going to be available for Ashe for at least another 30 seconds. So they'll have to try to fight this one out without it, as the root will drop on to the Victor there, but they're getting so much damage down onto Non-Jaxmane, so many souls as well. Will he be able to run out of this one? Doesn't look like it. They're just too fast. There he is here. The Victor will help get the kill. Caddy trying to fight back against the Gragas and the Wukong, but that's not something you can do. They have too much pick potential on you. Notak trying to run away. It does not have a lot of mobility, just has the slows that can come through. Will get almost taken down. Gwen is here as well, but they're losing so much around the map. Herald is going to get the charge on. No, it gets stopped just barely. Great play from the Gwen to stop that one, but now Lanier has to keep running away. Here comes the Wukong, maybe to try to help him out. W over the wall is, oh, he tries to flash into the bush, but it has a ward, so unfortunately he does not manage to make it happen like Faker did at MSI. But either way, it was a great attempt. I love to see that. But it's just a little unlucky there. Wukong also didn't continue to come help, was possibly worried about dying there. Can't really blame him, but all in all, still a pretty good play for the Wolfpack Mingos.
Yeah, I definitely have to agree, and I definitely want to give a big notification there to Hunter Wolf about stopping that scuttle mid charge. I mean, that was just beautiful.
Yes.
I've been able to do it once, like mid charge, and ever since they just collide with tower, and I'm like, yeah, sorry team.
It is you don't have a really big window to do it, and it's almost like you have to be like attacking it. You have to be attacking it like right as it's going by. So it's like it's definitely not easy, but when you can make it happen, it looks pretty impressive. Or maybe it is easy for like people who are of this caliber, and it's just not easy for us because we're trash. But it still looks impressive either way.
You know what they say, casters are just the washed professionals.
Yeah, that's the play-by-plays are usually like the silver Skarner one tricks from what I that usually be, or they're like they use casting to like boost their rap career if you're Dracos. That's also something that they like to do. But as we're seeing here, trying to set up for it, the third dragon of the game would be each team's second dragon, whoever ends up getting it. Probably going to be Wolfpack Mingos just because they're in a pretty solid position. The question is, will Lanier be able to take down Nada Jaxman? And if Gragas can't join the fight, all of a sudden, I'm not sure how this goes. I think it's still, if both top laners don't join, I think it's still Wolfpack Mingos favored, as Nada Jaxman is going to try to take him down, as Glenn is here as well, so just keeping him in place for as long as possible. Lanier will keep running away, does miss that explosive cast, does get the slow off on Lanier. This buys plenty of time for the dragon to be started. Lanier is going to try to teleport on out of here. Will he get it off? No, he will. Just barely does not, but that's okay. You go, all right, you sent like 3, almost 4 people. Nasus was walking up. Congratulations, you didn't get dragon. You're more than happy dying for that because you don't give up a whole lot. I don't know if he had a shutdown. He might have had a very small shutdown. If he did, it was probably like 150, 300, if I had to guess. So you're more than willing to trade that for your dragon. Just a really solid play from the rest of the team to recognize that that was just a free objective.
I mean, the other thing is, I respect Team Ambition's choice to go up there and kill the Gragas, because unfortunately they did not have mid and mod prio to go take the dragon, so either way they would be walking into a lose or lose even harder situation, unless Wolfpack just absolutely just butchers their entire defense.
Yeah, I do agree with you there. I do think it was like you make an excellent point that there was no reason for them to walk in there, because a lot of teams in VRS, I feel like, will actually try to just fight out for every single dragon. In this case, you almost certainly lose the fight because of how ahead the other team is on just avoiding that fight altogether and getting the free kill when you can't get the objective. I think you make a great point. That is a pretty solid decision making there, as Gwen will manage to get away from that play. But I gotta say, this is where you're gonna start seeing the composition of Team Ambition Sakura start to crumble a little bit.
Excuse me, yep, and it does seem that Wolfpack is wanting to set up for a potential Baron fake.
It did seem to be the case. They do miss a lot of their engage tools. The ultimate from Ashe is down. The Zeri ult, no, they only use the Ashe ultimate, but they still have the Gragas explosive cast, and that's enough. The Cyclone is coming through as well. Will they be able to keep doing enough damage? No attack has to go down soon. If he does go down, this could be dire. They managed to get the Ashe though, and that's huge, but the Wukong is on the backline finding everything. Hunter Steel is killing Clark. No one's helping the ADC. The damage of your team composition was left to die, and it turns out that they can in fact fight this. Team Ambition Sakura play it beautifully because the Zeri was left to her own devices. And they still want more, actually. Oh, I'll let you go.
They're... nope, hang on. It looks like this Gwen is out for blood against this Gragas, doing a little bit of ring around the rosy, jumping through the bushes. Does Gragas actually get out of here?
Should be able to.
Gragas goes back in.
Just barely misses, but the barrel will go down, and that's going to be the snip. They also get the kill, I believe. Nope, Victor actually gets away, but they actually stall and could have easily taken the Baron there. I think that was a completely fine play, but it ends up because now Ashe is alive, Zeri's alive, Victor is still alive with teleport. Wukong is running back too, so you can't do the Baron. I actually think that chasing for Gragas was a bit of a misplay there, and now Karma is up in the mid or the top lane, sorry, for about no reason. Here comes the Ashe, will not be able to find the kill, so Karma does have to burn some of those active items that she has, but will get away, so no harm, no foul right there. But I still think that the earlier chase down was a bit of a missed opportunity. I think Baron was pretty free, as now we are going to see. I mean, if you're Mingos, you're like, I mean, Team Ambition Sakura just reset. We just saw them reset, so let's go ahead and start up this Baron. Maybe baiting it, trying to fight right after. Could be the case, as that will be the Enchanted Crystal Arrow swinging wide once again, trying to fight back though, trying to make the play happen. They will be able to stop the Baron for the side of Team Ambition Sakura, as that's going to be a lot of damage onto the Senna. They're going back onto the Baron. Wolfpack Mingos want to try to take this one down. That's a very low Wukong. All of a sudden, I think this play could break down very quickly. Now Jackman is very low. Will they be able to find the kill? Ashe is trying to kill him, but will be taken down. Wolfpack Mingos are breaking at the seams. Chandler Clark has nowhere to go. It's a Baron throw, baby. A quadra kill for the Gwen, and they can go ahead and take this Baron easy peasy now.
I just want to say this match so far has felt like a roller coaster if we look at like the projected outcome of who's gonna win. Like it was kind of even at first.
Yeah.
Team Ambition was favored a little bit, then it just dropped into the Wolfpack Mingos prediction to win. It's been there now. It just skyrocketed for Team Ambition again, and now Team Ambition with 23 seconds until Dragon spawns, they're just gonna start taking towers here.
I mean, just how insanely strong is this Gwen? 3 items on her right now. It is down CS, but it doesn't matter when you have those 12 kills. Not down in CS. On Wukong. She's up CS on Wukong. I meant down CS. I'm looking at 26 minutes, 165 CS. That's not great. That's not great. To producers saying she's jungling. The Nasus has 150. The Zarya has 168. No one's CSing very well in this game. So we are going to see this dragon taken away pretty easily. And all of a sudden, what this does is it stalls the game out. Now Jackman could be in some trouble, should be able to blast on over. Sun will not come through. As Wukong wants to keep going, trying to find the play, and Channel Crystal Arrow will manage to find its mark. Now Jackman will miss that E though. Will he go down is the question. Cyclone's going to come through, jumps over the wall, stops the back as well. Here comes the shield though from Senna. It's just not enough to save her teammates. That will be a shutdown. A much needed one at this point onto that Gwen. Get 1,000 gold into somebody's pocket. I believe that was the Wukong. And keep trying to get money in the pockets of this ADC as well. Into the Zeri would be helpful. But, I mean, you'll be happy getting that Gwen off the map for now and continue trying to get some objectives. And I really want to see Mingos, push this advantage.
Yeah, the Amigos. They're doing pretty good. Right, then again, I did earlier call them the Wolf Gang. So you know.
Oh, Caddy could be in a bad situation, but it's just fine. Channel Crystal Arrow will once again swing wide. They do get that mid inhib tower. Explosive Cask, I believe, missed its mark right there, as they are going to go ahead and try to run down this Gragas. Will they be able to do so? It does not look like it, but here comes the speed, what they needed. Noah Talk trying to get in there, but the slows are just so annoying to deal with, and it looks like the Mingos should be able to get on out of here. Looks like they're greeting a little bit hard, but no, they should be just fine. Karma does speed them up to try to stop that base, but he manages to get away just barely.
Yep, and the Baron buff will be ending here. The Baron power play, as they like to say, will end here in about 30 seconds for Team Ambition. Wolfpack is definitely just kind of hanging around, trying to wait for this timer to run out. And honestly, like, we're only at like 1,000 gold difference, even though Team Ambition is up 4 kills. This is still technically anyone's game at the moment.
I would have to agree. I think before it was pretty hard for me to see a world where Team Ambition Sakura wins this game, but it's honestly kind of a bit of a team diff. It doesn't feel like Wolfpack Mingos quite understand how to play around Team Ambition Sakura's team composition, and Team Ambition Sakura know exactly how to, use this team composition and, kind of, I'm blanking on the word. I know execute this composition. There we go. That seems to be exactly like they know exactly what to do in this situation, which is, wait for the enchanted crystal layer to go bye-bye, wait for the explosive cask to be not a factor anymore, and then all of a sudden you can just go in time and time again, and there's nothing really the enemy team can do to stop you if you have your cooldowns at that point. And that's what we've been seeing in each and every one of these fights. And of course, starting Baron helps with that a good bit.
Yep, there is going to be a slight pause here. Not 100% sure the reason behind this one. But is there a way we can get a quick look at NASA stacks? Since we are about 30 minutes in.
I don't think so when we're in a pause, but that is very important as well. Like,
Oh, we can. He's at 168.
that's really bad, I think, right?
Yeah,
That sounds really, really bad.
I thought he might be higher.
I thought so too. I thought he'd be like sitting around like 200, 300, or 250 to 300 at
Yeah.
least. But I think he gets like 3 stacks per queue, right? With like 5 or something like that per like champion. 6 per minion, 12 per big thing.
Big thing.
That's like really bad. That's like
It's,
really bad.
It's pretty descriptive.
That's
Yeah, there it is. It is increases by 3, increase to 12 against champions, large
Oh,
minions, and large jungle
okay,
monsters.
okay. 3 per minion, 12 against champions isn't that bad. He's only gotten 1. Well, maybe he got 1 Q stack. I don't even know if he did. That's how that went. We are back in. So three per minion is, you'd still expect him, like, I mean, that means that, like, what is it, 50 of his 150 CS was from Qs, which is not great. Obviously, you want to be able to be queuing a lot more. Of course, when you are playing ADC Nasus, that's a lot harder to do. So I'll cut him some slack there. It's not top lane Nasus, so maybe that's why the numbers aren't the same as what we might be used to seeing. I mean, I'm imagining that's the case. I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt, and they're not playing bad by any means either. They're doing perfectly fine in terms of gold. They actually should be down a lot more based on how the game was going, but objective bounties are helping them a good bit. They're also up on kills, so it makes sense there. Just down on towers so far.
Yeah, it is currently 6-4 towers in the favor of Wolfpack. And No-Tag taking a lot of unnecessary damage here at the moment.
Yeah, he doesn't care. He's NASA, so we'll go ahead and heal it up real quick. Should be just fine, as there's the Senna, keeping him nice and healthy. We'll see Victor go ahead and take that reset. Probably gonna either return bot or try to return to the side of his team. Mordekaiser was walking on down. Looks like he kind of gets told off by the team. He's like, no, you can return to top, get that shoving back in the right direction that we want it to. As Karma's doing pretty much the same thing. Victor was walking towards mid, but as soon as they see Mordekaiser, they're like, all right, we can just keep side laning this one out for sure. This could be a play, but does not look like anything crazy is going to happen there.
Yep, the Gwen might find this Ashe slightly out of position. Nope, she just respects it, not knowing exactly where Zeri or Wukong is. Doesn't know that Victor is in the bot lane, which Karma is politely answering.
Yep, Karma going ahead and just gonna start backing though, as looks like Victor will go ahead and shove this next wave out, try to join his team, setting up for the 5th dragon of the game. Going into the long haul for this one, should see another fight for this dragon. Could be a game-breaking fight, but I mean, like, it's only going to be fighting 4 soul points. That's all you're really doing. Ashe is on her way back, and it looks like Zeri is in a bit of a bad situation. Is going to have to E all the way over the wall, so could be a nice collapse, though. They do have that pink ward, and if they position without realizing where the enemy team is, it could be dire. Here they come. A great body slam catches through. Enchanted Crystal Air onto the backline. Cyclone is going to start hitting down as well. Will he be able to keep going? Zeri flashing after the Senna. Senna is going to be able to make it out so far, but all of a sudden it looks like the Victor's going to have a hard time as well. The Gragas is trying to keep them off his teammates. Now Jaxmane in a very bad position. The Senna ultimate comes through. It's going to shield them up a little bit, but not enough to save. Now to Jaxmane. Mordekaiser will go down. Next up is 2 more members. So far it's a 3-0. Gwen is down. That is your entire team if you are TAS. And that's going to be a 1 fight. The Wolfpack Mingos strike back once again and will go ahead and get themselves their 3rd dragon of the game, bringing them to Soul Point.
Yep, just waiting for the confirmation of Wukong taking this dragon. He is taking a sweet time with this. There it is. and that is going to extend them to about only 1,000 gold lead. They are still down a kill, but they are also up a dragon. And Baron is up, and look at where Wolfpack is.
I mean, I like this. This is perfectly fine. Your junglers, the enemy jungler is still dead for another 10 seconds. The only thing I'm a little scared of is the fact that there's teleports up on both Karma and Mordekaiser, but you don't have any wards in the area. The area was swept accordingly. The only thing you could really do is teleport to top lane. The blue trinket comes in, they see it, but it's just too little too late, and they'll be able to get themselves the Baron here. Maybe, hopefully, they'll be able to make better use of it than TAS, try to close this game out, but TAS still not down a lot of gold, as you were saying. So, still could go either way, but it does look like Wolfpack Mingos do have control of the game for it now.
Yep, as you said, for now, because we did see earlier in the game where it looked like Team Ambition just instantly swept it back into their favor. This is just one giant seesaw of a battle, if we're being honest in this match.
I'd have to agree, as we could see the Victor getting caught out here. He is running away, but this could be an overextension. Enchanted Crystal Arrow manages to snipe that Gwen, who overextends past her safety bubble, gets rooted up, will just barely be kept alive by the Senna, but is it enough? They managed to get one for their troubles, but it was the Gragas, and they are going to keep chasing after Non-Jackman. Non-Jackman is shielded up, but it's just not enough. Will be taken down. Now they're going to start sieging. Should be looking for that top lane. Maybe trying to go for the end here. 40 seconds down on this Gwen, on this Mordekaiser. And you're really only super scared of Gwen. Could try to force the end here. At least get that inhibs to get some pressure. See if they're able to close this one out.
Yeah, it looks like they might actually be able to do this because Gwen still has 20 seconds. And as we know, this Nasus doesn't have a lot of stacks. And look at just how quickly this tower is getting melted.
Yep, tower is going down super quick as they will just keep focusing those towers. Nothing they can really do against that one. No talk going in. Will be taken down finally. Sorry, that's going to Mantra Q, but it's just not enough as Wolfpack Mingos will seal the deal on game number 1.
Yeah, Wolfpack Mingo's doing a really good job there. For a second, we thought it was going to go back into Team Ambition's favor, but Wolfpack said, "Nah, mate, we'll watch this."
It was a pretty solid showing from Wolfpack Mingos, and that's what we ended up seeing is their team composition was just a little bit better in the sense that they had a lot of engage. As we saw Team Ambition Sakura trying to run them down, if you overextend too much, you don't have a great way of getting away. Yes, you have the speed from Karma, but look at what the enemy team has to catch you out. Enchanted Crystal Arrow, Explosive Cask, Cyclone, the stun as well from the Victor. It's just so much on top of each other that it makes the game pretty difficult to play if you are Team Ambition Sakura. But hopefully they do go ahead and make some adjustments to game number 2's draft to make the second game a bit more playable, but we'll see the results of that one in just a bit, or at least the draft of that one in just a bit, so don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
They say it started like a wildfire. It's kind of funny that you had me written off dead. Now we're coming for the empire. So now you love me, but you ain't seen nothing yet. Go tell and watch me, keep your eyes on me. I caught you sleeping before, and now I'm in your head. You can't close it, the doors are open. Now you ain't seen nothing yet. They say it's starting
secure our rise like pioneers with no fear. Never back down, this our frontier. Ash on the path, don't get too near. Blazing a trail, never adhere. Yeah, the road we chose is only built for the pros, and we can walk through the highs and the lows, lunges and throws. Got the crown, never letting it go. Royalty, you ain't getting the throne. Leaders of a new empire, clawed our way up from the muck and the mire. Nothing will take from us all these desires. We're at the summit, we're still going higher. We are the crucible, we are the fire. Like a wildfire, I feel it spreading in a new wave. We know change the game, build an empire. If you're ready, we can start it up. We can start it, say it straight like a wildfire. I feel it spreading in a new wave. We know change the game, build an empire. If you're ready, we can start it up. We can start this all right now. New wave right now. You ain't seen nothing. You ain't seen nothing yet. Coming at you live, real wild. Here to light it up, set the world on fire. Gonna break rules and hearts in twos, 'cause that's what the baddest do. Never going back, nah, that. Diamonds on drip, 'cause I came to make a splash. Gonna break rules and hearts in twos, 'cause that's what the baddest do. I switch, I'll melt your face off, disappear, I'm your eraser. Aim the cut just like a razor. Murder in this world, my blazer. I got all the boys on me, I got all the lines on ring. Knocking dead, turning heads, I got all the eyes on me. Pretty face, 걸어 들어와, 유행 선두자. 원하지만 못하잖아, 애가 타잖아. You like whoa, 할리 you don't go. 난 알지, I know. 준비해, cause I like the ball. 멈추지 않아, 말할래. 그게 like a bag, 그거 말고 bye. 믿어봐, 그만큼 크게 어깨 펴고 high. 100% 덤비지 못해, 죽여주잖아. 나는 boss, 간지 with the sauce. 원하면 줄게. I'm doing damage when just how I planned it. I do what I want when I say. 모두 날 따라해, 난 끝내주잖아. To live on the edge of insane. Coming at you live, real wild. Here to light it up, set the world on fire. Gonna break rules and hearts in twos, 'cause that's what the baddest do. Never going back, nah, that. Diamonds on drip, 'cause I came to make a splash. Gonna break rules and hearts in twos, 'cause that's what the baddest do. It's crazy. Sorry for the bad news, sorry I'm so bad. Only took a minute for me to get what you had. Sorry for the bad news, know it makes you sad. Live for a minute, baby, you should pack your bags. Without a look, should be breaking the law. If I don't got it, I take what I want. My circle small like a round of applause. You know that I love the sound of applause. You know I mean everything that I say. When you see me coming, get out of the way. Back in the sleigh, back and I'm better and ready to stay. I'm doing damage when just how I planned it. I do what I want when I say. 모두 날 따라해, 난 끝내주잖아. To live on the edge of insane. It's crazy. Sorry, not sorry for being the best. 언제든지 내가 좀 해. Look at the gold, all on my chest. Look at the gold, call it a flex.
All right, here we are back on the desk after game number 1. It was a back and forth affair. I know we had our strong feelings about draft going into it, but in the end, we're borne out correctly, specifically for you, Shogun. There was some good calls, some good predictions there on what the strengths and weaknesses of these comps were, but it was Wingos. Wingos? Wow, that was not
Oh,
correct.
wow.
Wolfpack Mingos taking it in game number 1 over Team Ambition Sakura. Let's break down how exactly they did it. What was the key factor in them coming out on top in game number 1 here?
Better CC.
Pretty much. I mean, better team composition all around. I just, when it comes to what the team composition for Team Ambition Soccer wants to do, they just want to run in. I like the idea of running in. Just having some primary engage would have helped them immensely. I think even if you have like, even an Ornn or a Malphite more so. I don't think Ornn is like quite primary engage. He can be, but it's a little unreliable because you can still miss the ultimate, of course. Malphite makes the engage a little bit easier. You could have had something like maybe Oriana in the mid lane. Just something that could, hit the go button so that the rest of the team can also go in and follow up on it. But you really didn't have anything to initiate that first point of contact.
Yeah, it was a little bit rough. We saw so many methodologies for engaging, disengaging, re-engaging on the side of the Wolfpack Mingos. Not so much. More of a run at you and hope comp for the side of the Team Ambition Sakura players. And one thing that really counteracts a run at you comp is Ashe Kongman. What a brilliant pickup that was for them, slotting into the support role. Everybody knows it's been busted for a while, but the play rate is shot way up on 12-11 for reasons we're still trying to figure out. What are the keys to this crazy Ashe support pick and making it work effectively?
I definitely want to say, like, one of the big factors is landing those long-distant arrows. Like, we saw that early one against the Karma in the mid lane that allowed the Victor to capitalize on that. That's skill. You just gotta know how to angle those.
Absolutely. Prey moments. Pretty great stuff. I think there was the buff recently as well, a couple patches ago. Like it was, less travel speed at the beginning of the cast, but it ramps up to higher travel speed over the course of it, so it makes it a little bit harder to dodge on those long distance calculation sniper shots into the mid lane. Definitely really cool to see the Ashe support used to such great efficiency. Moving into game number 2, Shogun, what do we want to see Team Ambition Sakura adjust to get us closer to our 2-1 prediction on this series that we came out swinging with, and bring us into contention of a tied prediction state with Kongman?
I think all you really got to do is just currently have a draft bug. But anyway, I don't know if we're switching it over right now, but real quick, I think what they should be looking to do is at least just fix their draft a little bit, get some primary engage, and I think, honestly, Team Ambition Sakura still looked really good on this composition that should not have looked good. So, I mean, they were making it look actually playable, which is in and of itself a huge achievement. So, I still have faith in Team Ambition Sakura being able to win game number 2, maybe even taking the series, as long as they go ahead and fix those draft problems.
Specifically, I'm sort of looking at Noatak, right? Get him on something a bit more traditional, not quite the Nasus angle. Didn't shine. I understand the reason for picking it in that spot, but overall compositionally didn't work so great. But we will see what adjustments they have to make right now, as we are ready to move it on into draft for game 2. Gentlemen, have a grand old time. I'll see you after the fact. Bye-bye.
All right, thank you so much, Dodge, as we are getting into the draft here. So far, it doesn't look like they've quite started the bands yet. Don't quite have them up. Or we got something going on. Something's happening.
This is last game.
Not again! Oh, no!
It appears that they have decided to swap compositions. Wolfpack says that we can beat you with your own composition.
And I would say probably not. I would say almost certainly no.
Imagine that being the ultimate Chad move.
That'd be pretty hype. I respect it. If you're Wolfpack Mingos, though, you definitely don't want. If you do have that comp, you're like, I don't want anyone else to play this comp against us. I think this comp is pretty good. As we will see those bans come through. Viego's going to go ahead and get banned away first for Team Ambition Sakura. Wolfpack Mingos going to go ahead and I doubt they'll ban anything crazy. They're probably gonna stick with the same thing. The idea
Banning the
Team
banning the
Ambition Sakura
Seraphine.
is okay. Gonna go ahead and get rid of possibly the Gwen. Maybe does switch to the Vigar. Will lock that in. So far, and both teams do have coaches, so it's not the players making the calls necessarily. It could be some player input. Some teams do like to have players have that final say. But so far, I don't think it was a player diff in game number one. I always like calling out the coaches because coaches love bragging when they have like a coach diff. It's fun, or like a draft diff.
I can tell that Team Ambition Soccer is the one who made this draft lull because someone in chat leaked the draft, and I clicked on I clicked the link.
I see.
So I'm preemptively seeing this. So apparently, like I'm assuming, Team Ambition made this one because Team Ambition named themselves the Awesome Cool Guys, and the Wolfpack Mingos are apparently named the Stinky Guys.
Stinky guys are 1-0 so far, so I mean,
That's true.
pick it up, guys.
At this point, I think I'm gonna be cheering for Wolfpack Mingos just so I can keep my 2-0 positivity score.
That's fair
alive.
because that's like a net gain, like that's like a 1-for-1 for you. That's like an
Exactly.
0-2 for us, which is why I'm cheering for Wolfpack Mingos to lose this one and then win the next one, because that's the opposite.
See, I need Wolfpack to win this game, or if they lose and Team Ambition wins, then I need Team Ambition to win Game 3.
Yes.
So I still get a point.
Basically, we came to the realization that Team Ambition Sakura win this game, me and Dutch can be happy with any outcome ever. We're just like, nice. That's sick. We'll see if that ends up being the case though, as we do see the Morgana getting locked in against the Olaf, which terrifies me because Olaf is going to not care at all what that Morgana has to say, but I do like the Black Shield coming through to kind of counter that Ahri, and with the Lucian being locked in as well. And Zeri Yumi being locked in for Team Ambition Sakura. I like what Team Ambition Sakura is working with, but once again, we don't have great primary engage, and that needs to be stressed at least a little bit.
Yeah, I definitely have to agree with you there. I mean, okay, we look at Team Ambition Sakura. Your engage is Camille ults, and then, I don't know, maybe you kill one person? If you ult the right person. And then you look at Wolfpack, you have Volibear, Morgana, Lucian, Ash Arrow, lots of better engage.
I think they're pretty even in how their engage shapes up against each other. I think Wolfpack Mingos, like you said, is like slightly better because they do have the Volibear, but I think both sides don't have like that primary engage. Like Volibear wants to be able to follow up with someone else as well. I do think that it's good enough though. I think if you do have that Volibear and that Garen running after you, it's gonna be pretty terrifying to deal with, especially with an Enchanted Crystal Arrow on top of that. I do actually think that Wolfpack Mingos have a high chance of winning this game as well, based on draft alone. Meanwhile, Team Ambition Sakura also have pretty solid pick potential, but they have to like look for those picks where Morgana is not sitting and try to. And if they do end up running into the Morgana, they have to just absolutely break down the and this actually isn't necessarily the order that they picked in either. This is just the order of the lanes, I guess is the best way to put it. So not exactly sure how this one shaped up, but either way, I think both comps are pretty comparable here.
Taking a quick look because I have it here on my phone. Apparently Zeri was first pick, then it was followed up by Ash Volley, then Camille Olaf, and then third pick Garen. Okay, our producer is molding in my ear. It was in the Twitch chat that someone linked. So, and then round 2, it was Morgana picked first, Ahri Yumi, and then Lucian.
It is an interesting draft for sure. I'm excited to see what each side can do, but before we jump into Summoner's Rift, we're going to go ahead and throw it to a quick break, so don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
die when the world is calling you? Can you hear them screaming out your name? Legends never die, they become a part of you. Every time you bleed for reaching greatness, relentless, you survive. They never lose hope when everything's cold and the fighting's near. It's deep in their bones, they'll rot into smoke when the fire is fierce. Oh, pick yourself up, 'cause legends never die when the world is calling you. Can you hear them screaming out your name? Legends never die, they become a part of you. Every time you bleed for reaching greatness, legends never die. They're written down in eternity, but you'll never see the price it costs. The scars collected all their lives. When everything's lost, they pick up their hearts and avenge defeat. Before it all starts, they suffer through harm just to touch a dream. Oh, pick yourself up, 'cause legends never die when the world is calling you. Can you hear them screaming out your name? Legends never die, they become a part of you. Every time you bleed for reaching greatness, legends never die. When the world is calling out your name, begging you to fight. Pick yourself up once more. Pick yourself up, 'cause legends never die when the world is calling you. Can you hear them screaming out your name? Legends never die, they become a part of you. Every time you bleed for reaching greatness, legends never die.
Alrighty, everybody, welcome back to Game 2 of the series between Team Ambition Sakura and Wolfpack Mingos. On the blue side, we have Team Ambition Sakura, and on the red side, we have Wolfpack Mingos. Sorry, the colors just messed me up. They were swapped at the top, what they should be because of how these teams' color schemes are. But that's okay, as the invade from Wolfpack Mingos will not work out the way they want to. They will go ahead and clear that ward away. The Pixel Brush ward will not get cleared, though, so it'll manage to see just about everybody walking on out, and they'll be just fine. And I gotta say, I am excited to see these two Cubs go at it, because it is going to be they're very similar. I think they're very similar to one another for sure. I just think that Wolfpack Mingos, as you said earlier, has just a bit more engaged.
Yep. And I do want to say I really like this Garen starting items, by the way. If anyone hasn't noticed yet.
Okay, this is good news. This is good news. We want Team Ambition Soccer to win, so a Garen with 0 items is really good for that. Especially into Camille early game, pretty hype. Pretty hype. Oh no, not a Jax main. Is a chicken. a bit of a beta for not taking the Ignite teleport instead opts for the flash.
This Garen is now laning without his items. This is going to be this
Yeah,
has to be like a spicy Garen tech that I just don't know about.
No, Spicy Garen tech would be playing Garen jungle. I have a friend who plays a lot of Garen jungle. The most goated thing you've ever seen in your life, and I'm not joking. It's disgusting.
Yeah. Now I'm also wondering, does not a Jax main realize that this Garen has no items? Like this is a free
Probably.
Camille punish. Like I really hope someone on the side of Sakura is like, "Yo, Jax," or sorry, not Jax. There's no items.
Yeah, you can kind of bully him as much as you want to. And Not a Jaxman, I believe, started W like you normally do on Camille, and so is mostly just using it to zone off the Garen. And this is about how it would normally go anyway. Maybe has a little bit more resistances from like a D shield, something like that. So it could be annoying to play, or like the HP regen beats that you can get. So see what Garrett ends up doing on this first back here. Maybe this was intentional. Who knows? Trying to build up a false sense of security, as I love what they're doing with this Volibear here, bringing him in for the lane gank. Can't walk up too much more. He does queue up that Q. This could be dire for this Zeri and this Yuumi. They want to try to find this play, but will it be doable? As Lucian is kind of shoving the wave out just a little bit. As Olaf is coming in as well. They go ahead and they flash in, but the cleanse will come through. Will Noah get away? It does look like he'll be able to do so. Olaf is here as well, though, taking a lot of damage. Will they be able to fight back? Lucian's very low, 1 HP, just barely lives and will be just fine. As I believe that was still flat. All the sums, actually, of Noah and Caddy burned in the bot lane. As all the sums in bot lane, actually, total, have been burned. All the flashes, all the exhausts, all the heals, all the cleanses, and all the ignites.
The ghost?
What, is there a ghost? There's no ghost.
Yeah, Olaf ghost. He showed up. Olaf
Not-
used
not-
ghost.
not from
Volibear
bot
used flash.
Not from bot lane, though.
They were all in bot lane.
bot lane.
Both junglers were in bot lane.
Well,
Now I want to point out, Garen finally bought his items.
well, you'd hope he'd buy his first items after the first pack. He said, "You know what? Because I just survived laning phase so far without... Oh, that's a great sidestep from the Morgana to get away from that Ari charm." As I was saying before, I just had to, pog off a little bit right there. Pretty solid stuff from Garen to just not go for the Doran shield, or maybe a little bit ego. He's like, Doran shields are for losers, and I am no loser. I am Garen. So goes ahead and just picks up Ruby Crystal.
What if he's just trying to rush his first item and he wants that 500 gold extra?
I believe it. I mean, that's just like your average like Garen player's like line of thinking for sure is like, yes, must get. But in that case, it's like, why not just start boots and like
just run at it
or something? Yeah, like that would have been okay too. You could have done that.
Like Garen run faster with boots for Demacia.
I little off topic, but I like mentioning this because it's funny. My friend trolled me playing Garen jungle, not because he played Garen jungle. He forgot Smite. So real quick, we might actually have a play in the top side. The hook shot will just barely miss because of a great dodge away from the Garen. Garen trying to play his way out of this one. Will he be able to outplay this Camille? Does not look like it. Camille will easily find that first blood. No ignite needed, no flash needed, just pure mechanics. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, does look like this Morgana should be just fine to survive here. In the bot lane, does look like they'll get some damage down as Camille is yet again back, but the stun's going to come through. The Volibear wants to try to fight this Camille. Camille doing her best to try to get this kill as Volibear is absolutely wrecking her and will find that kill for himself. The jungler is just too good for the side of the Wolfpack Mingos.
Yeah, I definitely want to say that there's a slight bit of a jungle diff here between these two teams, with Wolfpack and Mingos having the slightly better jungler here. And then, of course, top lane, yeah, Team Ambition is a little bit better with their jungler, because it's not a Jax main. It's just really versatile in the top lane, and unfortunately, Jax does seem to get banned every single game.
Yeah, I would too. But luckily for not a Jax main, there's a lot of champions that have that similar style. The Camille's one of them. Pretty great split pusher. As Camille was about to troll and walk up here, but looks like Volibear will finally make it out And once he gets out of there, it looks like in the mid lane, hold on just a second, a bit of a different play is happening, but that's going to be the flash away for the Morgana to keep herself alive. Hookshot will land right onto the Garen. Garen is a little bit too far up, gets into the bush though, trying to outplay this one. Does not have 6 though, so it's not really doable as now Jaxbane finds himself another solo kill. As meanwhile in the bot lane, looks like Ashe is taking a lot of damage here. Very hard to punish the side of Yumi when you don't have a lot of engage, so they'll be just fine.
Yeah, our producer's trying to say that it's already going to 3 games. And we're only 7 minutes in. Clearly, our producer did not watch the previous game where it was back and forth, but Wolfpack easily won that game without breaking a sweat. So, I still think Wolfpack can easily bring this back. Don't me.
Have you seen like the Key and Peele skit where it's like it's Jordan Peele and he's sweating like crazy?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was Wolfpack Mingos in the last game. They were like, as soon as they throw at Baron, that's them. That is them. They're like, oh goodness me. Why is Camille level 8? What? Well, we'll see if she's able to get out of this one. Should be just fine. Does have flash available as well. Gonna go ahead and get that slow off. We'll try to get out of here as well. Chandler Clark is getting a little low on the Lucian here. Shouldn't be a play. Meanwhile, Camille has gotten herself away, is hiding in the enemy jungle at the moment, and will be just fine. As 2 levels up for Camille. Feel pretty good of how the game is going so far.
Yeah, 2 kills up, 2 levels up, and about math is hard, 27 CS up as well. A lot of 2s for the side of this Camille. Considering fact, Team Ambition is also up 2-1. I guess 2 is the number of the day for Team Ambition Sakura. Not really a whole lot else going on in the Rift. You see everyone else is kind of at a flat 0 line for the stat board. Honestly, pretty chill game right now.
Yep. The calm before the storm, as it were, as we will see. Now, Camille is trying to, push his advantage as much as she can. Garen trying to fight back, but did about 1 damage because of that shield that Camille just kind of gets for free for no real reason. We will
Just
see.
existing.
Yeah, pretty much. As we will see, Volibear in a bit of a precarious situation. Does want to still go for the steal, which I will say would be a. I think this is worth. As instead he just kind of leashes it for the enemy team. So pretty nice of him, honestly. As we will see Ari come on down, maybe try to go for the play. Does not think it's worth to try to ult for it. So will instead go ahead and return to the mid lane, maybe find a charm onto this Morgana, but that's not going to be the case. Instead, just goes ahead and tries shoving this wave out a little bit. So Morgana will be able to clear it right on back very easily.
Yep. One thing I like about this mid lane matchup is they both just have generally good wave clears. So it's kind of hard to push either tower.
Yeah, it's going to be fairly difficult to do for sure, as we will see. Oh, here comes the Volibear. Enchanted Crystal Arrow will just barely not find its mark. The ultimate is coming out from the Zeri. Keep themselves alive. The Yuumi doing what they can to keep their ADC on top. Does hop on to get the shield, as now they're going to try to turn this one around. No attack will help get the kill there. Will secure it, as now the Ashe is running for the hills. Will flash back, tries to find the play onto No Attack, but is not able to do it. No Attack going to get very low. Will go down to the Lucian. Never mind, it's the Ashe's Ignite that is able to find the kill there, but still a great play all around for Team Ambition Sakura.
Yeah, Team Ambition Sakura now beat up 5-2 with about a 3,000 gold lead, and okay, Garen, you can't take this fight.
No, but it's not like he was looking for it. He's just trying to exist to the best of his ability. It's not, he doesn't have a great ability to exist. He kind of has to do exactly what he's doing now. It's kind of like playing against a Teemo. You're not allowed to walk up to the wave ever, or you just kind of die, and you have to wait until you have Flash Ignite up. Maybe you can make a play happen, but against the Camille, it's actually even worse because she has this crazy die potential. The Ignite is ticking. The Garen has the opportunity to go for a play, but if the W comes out, the shield comes out, all of a sudden it's very winnable. The flash does come through. I believe Garen uses flash to force that one out. So now the hook shot will come down. But now, all of a sudden, John Jackson has to start respecting the idea that Lanier can kill him. Will he be able to do it, though, is the question. I don't believe so. Should be just fine. Trying to make sure he doesn't get an easy back off, does ward this bush. And here is Morgana all of a sudden. Now Jaxman is in some trouble. It's trying to find the outplay, but is not able to do it. Greeds for way too long. Should have known that Morgana was gone. And if there's just no communication, that's one thing, though. But either way, a great play from Wolfpack Mingos to kind of turn the tide back in their favor on the top side.
Yeah, but unfortunately, while that was going on the top side, Team Ambition, I'll be honest, I don't even remember them taking the first dragon, but all of a sudden, now they're up 2 drags.
Right, so Team Ambition Sakura is still in a pretty solid position. All things considered, being 2k gold up, having those 2 dragons, being able to, you know, contest this Rift Herald as well. And it looks like they're going to try to get it. If they could get this, they could blow this game wide open for sure. This look like Garen and the Volibear want to stick around. The Enchanted Crystal Arrow is coming up. There it is. It hits. All of a sudden, that's the go button. They want to try to go in. The Ragnarok will drop down. And all of a sudden, that makes this play very hard to do. Because now that's going to be 1 dead Garen, 1 dead Volibear coming up. Maybe. But they are able to find the kill. What a play from them. But that's still going to be the Volibear going down. The Ahri is here with the Yuumi. The Charm is going to land right into this Morgana. Morgana is going to get very low. Should go down shortly. That's a double kill for the Ahri. Zeri trying to survive in the bot lane all alone. No Enchanted Crystal Arrow means she should be just fine. They want to try to find the play. They're going for the dive, but it was a bit ambitious. Culling is going to drop. Most of it is hitting Noah Tuck. Noah Tuck going to get 1 HP. What are you doing, Lucian? Flashes under the tower to get hit by the turret shot. Maybe was already going to die, so just flashes under to try to find the play. But instead, Lucian goes down.
The range.
Yeah, these things happen. These things happen. These.
To quote the famous song from Imagine Dragons.
Oh, wait a second!
Hang on!
Uh-oh, the misery on Noah Tuck now will be the victim of this one. It's shut down! Here comes Yuumi! Will she be able to find the solo kill? She's on the hunt. She's so slow. She cannot find that at all. As Ashe will prove that she is the real ADC in this situation and begins the back now.
You know, a lot like last game, this one is already a roller coaster of emotions. And this time we're only 14 minutes into the game.
Yeah, it is this is a banger. It's a bit more of a... I honestly thought after Team Ambition Sakura started getting an early lead that it should be pretty much all them. But it's not necessarily the case. It is swinging back a little bit into Mingo's favor. Maybe they could try to find a play here. It does not look like it at all, as they're just going to get wiped off. Will they be able to find a kill? Morgana trying to find a play, but that Q is going to miss. That Dark Binding will not quite land. Maybe they can find the steal on to this objective. That's going to be a Dark Binding that lands onto Ahri. Going to get some damage with that Cursed Earth right there. But it's just not going to be enough. Unfortunately, Ashe and Lucian are starting to walk back into lane. The Enchanted Crystal Arrow lands onto the Zeri, but now here comes the Yuumi trying to heal her up, but that's still going to be a lot of damage coming through. Will it be enough, though? They're trying to fight back. The healing is coming through. The culling will mostly not land. Noah Tuck does start tanking it up, trying to find the play, trying to find the outplay. Does have shield bow, so one more auto will do it. There it is! All of a sudden, now the Ashe has to start running away. An auto here, an auto there. Double kill for the Zeri everywhere in the bot lane. Noah Tuck is absolutely popping off on the Zeri.
Yeah, this is the power of Zeri since she recently basically just got uber buffed. Even in the developer notes, they were like, Zeri, we've nerfed you too much and now you're no longer a threat. So here's a free buff. And now Zeri's back in this scary state once again.
I feel like Zeri should hold on just a second and start talking about that in a moment after the Olaf is done dying. Hopefully he does not die though, but he will get shut down. The Volibear just barely living 1 tick of HP. Says wasn't even close as he starts going back to his jungle. We'll go ahead and pick up this blue buff, smites it for health, and we'll be just fine to continue this clear.
Yep, so if you want to go ahead... Well, hang on, open, so we're going to be seeing an interaction up here. Garen might die here.
No, Garen should be fine, but all of a sudden he is in danger of getting dove. So, can't walk up to the wave like he wanted to right there. Is still 2 levels down. Oh my god! That was the 1 damage. Might be able to get the next proc off. Does not, though. Does not want to take any more tower shots than that. So all of a sudden, if Garen stays under tower with this wave coming in, could be a dire situation. Hook shot will not hit because of the flash. What a great play from the Garen. Flash! Another Jaxman to absolutely dumpster the Garen of the top lane. What an outplay from the Tomato.
Yeah, I would
And-
really appreciate it if someone in chat would kindly clip the oh no, he's fine here. He doesn't die.
Well, he doesn't die right then and there. He was definitely
Oh,
going to
okay.
die eventually. I think that was Garen shouldn't die there because he should just leave and back, right? Like that's just how that should go. As now Camille probably going to be in a bad situation, has the opportunity to get out of this one, does get stunned up. Shield's going to drop though. Will it be enough damage? The Q does miss from the Morgana, but the ultimate is pretty undodgeable. Will land, will find the kill, but the third dragon of the game, third dragon for TAS, will be secured as they are on soul point at 17 minutes into the game.
Yeah, this is definitely a scary situation for the Wolfpack Mingos. I mean, you are currently down 3 dragons, 3 turrets, 6,000 gold, 7 kills. I mean, yeah, sure, you're about to get a tower. That's pretty cool, but that's not really going to help favor you. Like, the bounties in League are not really enough to help sway it back into your favor as much as it should.
Yeah, it's going to be a little bit difficult. I think the objective bounties are actually still pretty solid right now. Especially with how they are at the moment, where the inner towers are going to be 300 gold being split out amongst the entire team. So, will the Lucian be able to find something here? No, and that ward gets immediately dusted there. Will they try to find a play onto anyone else? Looks like Yumi wants to go ahead and stay with the Ari for now, try to make some plays there. So things only get scarier from here, folks. If you are the side of the Wolfpack Mangoes, it's not looking pretty good.
Yeah, Wolfpack Mingos is definitely having to try and figure out what exactly they're looking for to try and capitalize on any potential thing to help sway it back into their favor. But unfortunately, like, Team Ambition is doing a lot better at just realizing, hey, we know who to fight, we know how to play this slow, and we're just going to be cool with it.
Yep, and playing slow is a very important part of this one. As now the Camille will hook shot on in, not going to find too much though. And a great Dark Binding, of course, from them Morgana to stop the advances of the enemy for now. As all Team Ambition Sakura really have to do are play for the dragons, or this last dragon of the game, and go ahead and use this Ocean Soul to start, helping them get the objectives. I mean, after they get Soul, they can very easily move on to Baron after that one, pressure that one out. I feel like they have a much better team fight, but they also might be scared of getting into a position that Wolfpack Mingos put themselves in game number 1.
Yeah, it is definitely a bit of an interesting situation here. Excuse me.
We will see what the side of Wolfpack Mingos can do to get themselves back into this game. Of course, it will start with making sure that this next dragon goes over to them, stall the game out just a little bit more, try to play through. You're really looking at who you're trying to play through, and the best option that you have is, oh, what a charm from the Ari! That's going to be a lot of damage going down onto the Ashe, but the Olaf is here to try to answer something back, but Ari is just too mobile to get away. Sorry, the Volibear was there to try to get something back, just not able to do it. Here comes the Camille ult right on top of the Morgana. Morgana will go ahead and use that Zanya to stay alive for just a little bit longer, but not the entire time. Garen will stay in his base. Now all of a sudden Lucian has to flash over the wall, but here comes Zera. He is getting a little bit greedy, probably a little too overzealous, but will still end in Lucian dying. So you can go, yep, that's worth. I think that's pretty worth there, as they will go ahead and collect themselves a tower as long as they go ahead and get some objectives for that bit of a daring play. I think they'll be just okay with the outcome of that.
Yeah, so basically at this point, we're only 20.5 minutes into the game, and Garen's just gonna die here once again.
Maybe.
Oh, maybe?
Enchanted Crystal Arrow will fall as here comes Olaf. Maybe it ends up being the Volibear who goes down. Here comes the Camille. There it is. Volibear is the one who ends up paying for Garen's sins in that situation. Morgana will land that Dark Binding right onto Olaf, get some damage done, but the shield will come through from this W, and he'll be just fine for now.
Yeah, so especially with that death going on to the Volibear, I think this is kind of it for Wolfpack.
Yeah, I mean, you could play through Morgana, but like it's just not enough damage, and Lucian needs to snowball the game to be super relevant. And when you're not snowballing and you're playing against Zeri, it all of a sudden becomes a lot harder, and you have to be like sufficiently better than your opponents in order to now win this game. And I just don't think that's the case. I think if anything, at best, they're evenly matched in terms of skills. So that being said, Team Ambition Sakura should be able to win as long as they don't, overcommit to something, take a really bad fight that ends up being like the miracle play for Wolfpack Mingos. But I just don't see that happening at this point either.
Yeah, we might see one of those later in the game, but if Team Ambition realizes that they can just win every fight and just proceed to start sieging, I mean, yeah, Soul Point is up here. Wolfpack, I don't really think you guys have a chance of taking this, especially now with Camille right outside.
Yeah, with Camille right outside, it's going to be a little difficult. What
There
a
it is.
steal from the Olaf, as it's just an absolute decimation. Lucian's going to go down as well. Everybody on the Wolfpack Mingos will fall. Here comes the REN, the Olaf chasing down the Ashe. A quadra kill for the mid laner of TAS, and that'll blow open the game. If they don't get the Nexus, they'll definitely get at least this inhibitor. The Nexus towers should be falling as well. We'll see if that ends up being the case. Here comes the Inhib tower. Inhib will be up next. The death timers are still pretty short because it's only 22 minutes into the game. But they're going to go ahead and try to force the end, and I can't blame them. I think they're well within their rights to do so. Here comes Lucian, though. Garen, Volibear are all up. Will they go ahead and try to save their base? They want to do it. Garen finally starts moving. Morgana not moving at all. They just go ahead. They're giving up. They're saying the game is absolutely over. Mental reset for next one as TAS will take home game number 2.
Well, that was definitely a lot more one-sided of a match than the previous game that we saw. So it is currently 1-1 both teams. We are going to be going to a game 3. So we've seen how both teams strive. We've seen how both teams fall. Looking at how they've drafted and everything, how do you think? Oh, look at their builds.
Sure, they
Look
just
at
knew
this
the game
end
was
screen.
over, so yeah, I mean,
The
I,
calling is upon us.
yep, it was a bit of a rough one. I think there was a chance that they could like save the game at that point, but I mean, how much longer are you really saving the game for? I personally would still have tried to make the game survive, but I mean, if it's just not worth your mental, then that's another thing. I can completely respect the idea to just go ahead and say, all right, let's just go into game number 3. Let's go in fresh. Try to draft a little bit better, try to play the early game a little bit better. We'll see if they're able to do just that in our game number 3. We'll see if Wolfpack Mingos can bounce back from this one, or if Team Ambition Sakura can complete that reverse sweep. Don't go anywhere. You don't want to miss it.
Coming at you live, real wild. Here to light it up, set the world on fire. Gonna break the rules and hearts in twos, 'cause that's what the baddest do. I never going back, nah, that. Diamonds on drip, 'cause our game will make a splash. Gonna break the rules and hearts in twos, 'cause that's what the baddest do. I'll melt your face off, disappear, I'm your eraser. Ain't the cut just like a razor. Murked up in this world, my blazer. I got all the boys on me, I got all the lines on ring. Knocking dead, turning heads, I got all the eyes on me. Pretty face, 걸어 들어와, 유행 선두차. 원하지만 못하잖아, 애가 타잖아. You like whoa, 달리 you도 go. 난 알지, I know. 준비해, 'cause I like the ball. 멈추지 않아, 말할래, 그게 like a bag. 그거 말고 bye, 믿어봐, 그만큼 크게. 어깨 펴고 high, 100% 덤비지 못해. 죽여주잖아, 나는 boss. 간지 with the sauce, 원하면 줄게. I'm doing damage when just how I planned it. I do what I want when I say. 모두 날 따라해, 난 끝내주잖아. To live on the edge of insane. Coming at you live, real wild. Here to light it up, set the world on fire. Gonna break the rules and hearts in twos, 'cause that's what the baddest do. I never going back, nah, that. Diamonds on drip, 'cause our game will make a splash. Gonna break the rules and hearts in twos, wet. There for a minute, baby, you should pack your bags. Way that I look should be breaking the law. If I don't got it, I take what I want. My circle small like a round of applause. You know that I love the sound of applause. You know I mean everything that I say. When you see me come and get out of the way. Back in the sleigh, back and I'm better and ready to stay. I'm doing damage when just how I planned it. I do what I want when I say. 모든 날 따라해 난 끝내주잖아. To live on the edge of insane. It's crazy. Sorry, not sorry for being the best. 언제든지 내가 좀 mark. Look at the gold, all on my chest. Look at the gold, call it a flex. 내 눈에 비친 창문 눈을 감아 바람이 부는 곳에 날 데려가 Wanna be myself Wanna leave this hell 꺼내줘 제발 Stuck in a place between the space of heart and mind 시간을 줘 꿈을 찾아 흘러가 So drop, sit on the floor thinking I'll stop, can't take no more 준비될 때 그게 나 roar Now it's a battle but this is a war I'll show you what I'm made of Rise to the occasion Got fears but I'm facing and I'll show you what I'm made of A heart full of fire Looking at a fighter I got a way, it depends on the day that I forget I'm the best that's done it Hard on myself, put my heart on the shelf Cause I forget that myself needs loving 어둠에 가려진 기억 모두 이젠 잊어 Cause I know that I can make it out Those days I drop, sit on the floor Thinking I'll stop, can't take no more 준비될 때 그게 나 roar Now it's a battle but this is a war I'll show you what I'm made of Rise to the occasion Got fears but I'm facing and I'll show you what I'm made of A heart full of fire Looking at a fighter 어둠보단 밝은 미더 크잖아 너의 가치를 너가 잘 알잖아 You know that I could take the more you shine 어두움이 지나 밝은 하루가 babe You don't have to be afraid And I'm not cause today I'll show you what I'm made of Rise to the occasion Got fears but I'm facing I'll show you A heart full of fire
Alrighty, we're
Look,
back.
guys.
I was not.
Oh, hello.
Had to panic.
I was not sending memes in our group chat.
As we are immediately into draft. It looks like the team started a little earlier than expected because they didn't get production enough time. So shame on the teams for that one. Unfortunately,
Our producer is still yelling in our ears as we proceed to do draft. We are going to be seeing an Ash and a Jin floating back and forth.
one of the
One or the other here. I mean, they do have 2 free picks, so I mean, okay, they are going to be locking in the Ash, and it looks like they're going to pick up the Ari, the double A composition here, and Wolfpack immediately picking the Zeris. And I want to point out, bans are kind of the same, especially the first bans for each team.
Yep, will appear to be that way as we will see what the other team has in store. Wolfpack Mingos go ahead and pick up the Vigar, which is pretty interesting. I don't know about Vigar myself in this situation. I think it's fine. I hope it's mid lane. If it is support, I think that would be not great in this
It's top
specific
lane.
situation.
Singed.
I don't think it's top lane. I get the feeling it's not top. Sorry, it's not top lane.
So, quick little fun fact about Singed. I don't know if you still have access to the champion stat sheet and all that, but I was looking at it earlier with Mr. Gurf and everything, and something I realized is that in VRS, Singed has a 100% win rate. And I'm sure you're thinking, oh, he has like a lucky game. No. He has 5 total games played. He has won all 5 of his games. So this is going to be game 6 of Singed, potentially continuing this 100% win streak.
That would be that'd be bad news for you, because it'd make your prediction 100% wrong.
Hey, that is
Would not
fine.
be great.
Look, the way I see it is we have 1 more week of regular season.
I mean, either way, at this point, we're tied.
Yes, either way we're tied.
Yeah, it's either just are we more right or are we more wrong. It's like that's all that really matters. So we could cheer for either team, which means you could go back, luckily, to cheering for Team Ambition Sakura. Our producer's not cheering for either team.
This is my team that I'm cheering for right here. This is who I like.
I would be cheering for Wolfpack Mingos, but after their coach's name performance of the last game, I don't know if I can. I don't know if I can be on board with that. I feel like that joke is getting very not appreciated.
And I mean, Team Ambition's coach used to be a manager on an Overwatch team that I was with, so I mean, kind of a little bit of bias here. Not gonna lie, just noticed that. Sorry, Basting.
I'm scared to mention this because it's going to be blamed on the 2 teams, but the names are swapped. TAS. I don't know which side should be which.
that is a good question. So we're not 100% sure which one has Singed at the moment.
Sweet.
But
Well,
honestly, looking at both these team compositions so far, while we wait for maybe we are going to be seeing Nocturne picked in. I remember, I want to say it was like last season. Someone told me to learn Nocturne for a tournament, and I hated it because it was something I was not used to. Okay, we are now seeing the end screen of last game.
That's
A quick
okay.
reminder
That's okay.
of Team Ambition winning. It's pretty good. All right, and we are back.
Still not right, but we're getting there. We're getting there. I'm mostly just worried. Like, I just need to know which side's blue, which side's red, and then after that.
Well, I'm pretty sure blue is on the left side.
Well, I know that. Genius. I'm talking about which side is Wolfpack Mingos and which side is actually Team Ambition Sakura.
Well, you didn't specify.
I feel like your listening comprehension needs some work, champ.
Yo, look, a
As
Fiora.
we will say, okay, that's Team Ambition Sakura for sure on the right, despite the names being wrong. That was 100% them baiting that. This is the last game.
We are enjoying looking at Team Ambition winning the last game so much. We keep going back to it. So
we do enjoy it. Yeah.
as we wait to get confirmation as to which team is which, how do you feel about these compositions? Not knowing which team is playing which.
I'm gonna imagine Team Ambition Sakura is on the right, and yet again, actually, I'm not sure because I don't know why they would pick Ash because it's been picked against them so many times. I will say, Team Ambition Sakura, once again, pick a team composition with 0 like reliable hard engage. You have Ornn who can press R and can engage, but it's not like 100% reliable. And every piece of engage on the red side on Team Ambition Sakura's team can miss. Their engage can fail. On the other side as well, it's the same thing with the Wolfpack Mingos. Their engage can also fail. The only one is like Nocturnes can't fail, but he can't insta CC someone. So that's the only issue that I have with Wolfpack Mingos. It's a very similar type of thing to what Team Ambition Sakura is doing as well.
Yep, definitely gonna have to agree with you there. So taking a quick look here, it appears that Wolfgang is the team that is on our left. So the teams above us are correct. The names are just accidentally.
That makes sense. That makes sense. That one.
Yeah. It makes sense, but hey, that's part of show business.
I mean, That's what happens when you don't wait for production to be ready. Things go wrong, and you know what? That's not our fault. That's teams. Because I think we had like 2 minutes to like get ready. It
Yeah,
was
I mean, you were also like mid
yeah,
bite.
we had a minute
You were
30.
you were also mid bite in your
I
sandwich.
was. I was
And
eating a sandwich. I was trying to eat my food.
and and also big shout out to the main Victoris channel coming in with a rate of 22. Infinite Dodge is already welcoming them in. Mr. Fantastic, glad to see you here. Getting ready for game 3 between a really close matchup actually between Team Ambition Sakura and the Wolf Pack Amigos. Amigos, God, no, I'm pulling the God.
See, here's the thing. I haven't been saying amigos. I've been saying migos, like, you know, the band.
I thought it is Migos.
It's migos, yeah, not amigos.
Yeah.
It's just migos.
Yeah.
It's this. No, the team is mingos. They're mingos.
Oh, like
Band is Mingos.
Flamingo.
Yeah, like yes. That's hence why their like icon is like a flamingo with people.
So even if I call them amigos, it's still technically right. Because you could say that those are the amigos on the flamingo.
No.
Why not? Yeah, it works.
No.
All right, they are the wolf pack.
We have some differing opinions from production on what they
I
should
know,
be
but
called. Let's be
I'm
see.
loving the game 3 predictions in chat. Someone donated 1 Gurf coin to Team Ambition Soccer to win,
That's the correct team to go for.
and
Yeah,
Wolfpack
that's
has 380.
prediction. Oh, that's a lot more Gurf coin going over to Wolfpack.
Are they even called Gurf coins?
No, they are, but they're not. You know what I mean?
True. Yeah, that's true. They will forever be named Gurf coins in our heart.
You know, I will say, based on draft order. Wait, no, I'm looking at this wrong. Never mind. That makes sense. Or am I looking at it correctly? No, I'm pretty sure Ash was like first pick or something. Or as we're getting a raid from Aegis Esports GG.
Yo!
Thank you so much for that raid. Sorry, I was slouching in protest for what these two teams
Oh
did
yeah,
to
sorry.
us.
We gotta look professional.
No, but for you guys joining us now, we are in the middle of our last game of the series. The series is tied up 1-1 with Team Ambition Sakura on the red side playing against the Wolfpack Mingos on the blue side. I did that wrong because I definitely did not forget the name of the blue team. For sure, that is not all what happened, as we will see some pretty spicy comps. We've been seeing a lot of spicy comps all night, a lot of Ash support. So this is actually the first game of Ash ADC. No, all 3 games have had Ash total. As we see the Singed, we always love seeing some Singed gameplay. Zeri has been picked a lot. I swear, if they don't trade back before 20, okay. That's one of my pet peeves now. As we've already angered the producer earlier. Now you might anger me. I won't get into it, but we are still going to have a pretty solid game on our hands. I do want to go ahead and let you talk about some of the matchups that we might see from the top down to that bot lane.
Alright, so definitely taking a look in the top lane. One thing I do want to point out, I don't have the sheet right in front of me at the moment for Ornn stats, but I want to give a quick reminder, especially to this big party of 74 coming in. Currently in VRS, Singe has been picked 5 times, and he has won all 5 of his games. So right now, Singe has a 100% win rate in the VRS. Ornn, I know, is nowhere close to 100%. I want to say he was at like 48 or something. So Singed is currently the best top laner at the moment. Ornn is just he's existing right now. So, but honestly, looking at this, we do have Jaxmane playing Ornn, but we do know that TG Lanier is sometimes able to surprise us with his top lane skills. So honestly, I think Singed might win this matchup here over Ornn just because it is a character diff, as weird as that may or may not sound.
No, Singe is goated. I think it makes perfect sense, honestly. But we will see if Singe is able to make that diff happen in the top lane. But before we hop into game, we're going to go ahead and send it to a short break. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Alrighty, everybody, welcome back to game number 3 of the series between Wolfpack Mingos on the blue side and on the red side facing off against them. Our team Ambition Sakura do have an invade coming out from the side of Wolfpack Mingos, and with the Blitzcrank, makes a lot of sense that they would be doing it now. Lehman could be in some trouble, gonna get spotted out by this sweeper. The hook is gonna hit, but that's gonna be a great play from the Orin to stay alive for now, but doesn't have to flash. Here comes the Singe. He started poison! He didn't start the flip. Bro, he started W. My bad. I thought I saw the poison. I just saw so many people, it actually just looked like poison. But no, he actually tried to start something that would help. It does stop the flash from coming through, but unfortunately was not enough to secure the kill. But getting flash, still pretty good for the side of the Wolfpack Mingos.
Yep, Blitzcrank did unfortunately use his Ignite to try and confirm the kill, but I mean, Ignite does come back pretty quickly. Like, I'm even watching that timer, that comes back a lot faster than I thought it did. I do also want to point out that this is the first time this match we're seeing Ashe not in the support role. So this should definitely be very, very spicy.
You know what? That's wild. That's crazy. That is crazy that is true.
Yeah, we've been so accustomed to seeing Ashe support that now we're seeing Ashe ADC.
And we're like,
But,
whoa.
yeah.
Can't believe they did that. As we will see what the Blitzcrank and Zeri can do together down in this bot lane. Maybe try to find a play on to this very immobile bot lane that they are facing off against. It is strange that they're... actually, no, never mind. This isn't quite the second wave. It does look like Zeri actually slightly has to push. Oh, a great dodge away from that hook by the Ashe. And now all of a sudden, the Blitzcrank does not have a lot of pressure to exert with the Zeri to help him get level 2 before the Ashe or Nada are able to find it. As now Ari is going to miss that Q just barely. Doesn't have Charm. Believe she got W next, or maybe she started W, got Q second. So we will see what exactly this Olaf has in store. Looks like the Nocturne is going to go ahead and go for that reverse clear, or he started topside. Maybe actually, I can't remember. Did he start topside? I think he did, because that red buff is
Yes,
up.
he did.
That makes a lot of sense. Then makes arguably more sense here. He wants to go ahead and play for this Zeri and this Blitzcrank. A lot of gank set up down there, as now Singed is outplaying this Orin super hard by running around him in circles. As now, oh, what a sidestep from the Singe. Singe is still going to be taken pretty low though.
Yeah, Singe early game is pretty punishable, but if you let Singe get to late game, like I'm assuming what happened in the other 5-game BRS series, then yeah, Singe can get pretty scary.
Yep, Singe is going to be a fun champion to keep our eyes on for sure. As now Blitzcrank doing what he can without that hook available at the moment. Used it, missed it. Unfortunate situation. As now we will see these minions go ahead and get taken down. Hook will hit onto the Renata Glask, though. Renata trying to survive as much as possible, does run away, will get away very easily, as now Zeri trying to fight back. Does not have a lot of damage early game, though. Trying to find the damage onto this poor Blitzcrank. The flash forward, the Q will hit. The stun comes through. Here comes Zeri trying to find the outplay, but goes the wrong way. Cleanse comes through, but it's not going to do too much. Maybe thought that he had heal. Here comes the Nocturne trying to turn this one around. Flash in. Doesn't burn the flash of the Ashe. Trying to find a little bit more. Will they be able to do it? Does not look like they can. And all of a sudden, it is just all those summoners pop once again. Flash still available for the Zeri, though. So that'll be useful as the enemy bot lane TAS have all their sums popped there. A lot of damage going to be popped onto this Vigard. Vigard does use that cleanse. Probably didn't need to. Was almost certainly just fine in the mid lane.
Yep, Ari attempted to use her W there to try and poke the Vigard down a little bit, but unfortunately it did proc into the minion, which is not really what you want to see that often as an Ari player. But definitely, there it goes again.
Yeah, some unlucky circumstances there, for sure, as we will see what they can do here. Got someone cheering on trade, the Nocturne from the side of Wolfpack Mingos, as that's going to be a great flip under the tower. As apparently he doesn't take any damage because of how the tower shot was, or how the tower was aggroing as a whole. We will see what this Ari can do, what they can make happen. Probably not going to be a whole lot for now.
Yep, and we do see Ari just doing her best to shove this wave. Does get a nice little poke damage onto the Vygar there. Vygar definitely going to be building the stacks. And now that Singed is level 5, this is where he starts to get into that slightly scary position.
Yeah, getting into that slightly scary position indeed. Will he be able to do anything is the question. As we will see the damage come through onto the Singe, going to be doing a good bit. He just starts running away, going all willy-nilly, doesn't really care about anything that they can do. As meanwhile, the Dragon should be taken up here in the bot lane by TAS.
Yeah, Team Ambition is going to be getting a free Dragon. Unfortunately, Zeri does miss her wall bang, but I mean, you couldn't have even stolen the Dragon at that point, but it was still a valiant effort from her side.
I would have to agree. Now we're going to see what exactly this Singe can make happen. Does flip the Ornn onto the tower. Ornn is going to start tanking up a good bit of tower shots there, but will be just fine to start walking away after that.
Yep, I definitely want to point out in chat we do have Mr. Gurf himself, the owner of the Gurf coins, in chat. Good to see you here, Mr. Gurf, ready for Game 3 of Team Ambition Sakura and the Wolfpack Migos. Definitely been quite a series so far.
That it has been a pretty interesting one. We will see a little bit more damage done to Renata, but shouldn't be a whole lot. Blitzcrank trying to... Oh, what an Ornn horn from the Ornn. Completely misses the Singe. That's going to be a nice hook onto Renata Glass. Renata Glass going to get very low. Going to start fleeing away. Will she die? No! Yes, she will. The Ignite just barely ticks. And the kill will come through for the Blitzcrank. As now, Singe in a bad spot, does dodge away from that Q, but he will hit it again at the end there because he goes down the skill shot alley, and as a result, gets taken down there. Singe will have to go ahead and run all the way from base back to his tower.
Yeah, very unfortunate for Singe there. Definitely want to point out one of the best things you can do when fighting a Singe is just follow right behind him. That trail 100% gives you a speed boost. Doesn't do anything else. As you watch Olaf and Ornn just casually walk through it.
True. It definitely does not hurt you at all. Will not slow you at any point in the game, no matter what items he builds. So we will see Nocturne be in a bit of a bad situation. The Ragnarok will come out. Nice knockup from Ornn to keep making this play even worse for the side of the Wolfpack Mingos. As it looks like the Singe will go down. They're trying to find a play onto the Ashe. Ashe should be pretty dead here. Looking for the play. Chandler Clark still gonna barely live. Actually, thought he was gonna go down. He lives with just about 1 HP and will get out of there safely. Ease over the wall and will be just fine.
Yeah, this is definitely a lot closer game. We are actually going to be seeing Team Ambition taking the Rift Herald. Olaf and Renata are just going to be taking that with some pretty quick ease. And Olaf is going to be the one picking it up. Renata is going to go ahead and go back into the bot lane with Ashe. So it's going to be, I'm going to go and ask you, where do you think Olaf is going to drop this Herald off?
I could see him dropping it off mid. He should drop it in one of the lanes that's winning. I'd say definitely mid. It would be better than top lane. You know, top lane's winning as well. I don't think you really want to use it to get Ornn any more ahead than he is. I just think your real damage threat is only the Ahri and yourself, of course, being the Olaf. So it would make the most sense to start getting funneling a lot of this money into the Ahri. Yes, you can get Ashe a little bit more fed as well by giving her some extra plates, but all in all, I don't think you're really looking towards your Ashe to be doing the most of your damage, which is unfortunate because you really don't have anyone who's going to be doing that like crazy amounts of damage. Instead, only really providing that utility from each person and really just banking on being able to use those ultimates to the best of your ability here. As Singe is just doing Singe things. I don't know if he's going to be allowed to leave. He's not backing. I think he might be waiting for minions to come in. No one's...
Yep, this is
Okay, there
what
it
he
is.
is doing. And I do want to point out that Team Ambition did drop a question mark ping onto Singe. Oh wait, here comes the Olaf. Yeah, this is what Singe does. Singe just runs into your base, it does this, and here comes the Olaf, and now he's just going to die to tower, get the full reset. The minions
And he
slowly
gets
die.
most of the wave.
See, and here's the funny part. Yeah, he got most of the wave. Ornn can't push the tower because he has no minions.
Yep. That is the that's the special right there. As
Yeah.
our producer is mentioning, Vigor doesn't get to stack some minions now, though, which is makes things a little.
Yeah, he lost a full wave. Because not only did he just kill the top lane one, he also walked over, aggroed the mid lane, and put them together.
I respect
So,
it.
so sure, Singed got a lot of CS, but Vigar is now sitting in mid lane looking at this RA that's winning the CS battle and going, well, this just sucks.
Oh, a great charm onto the Blitzcrank, but now the Nocturne will ult to try to dissuade them from going any further. 5 members strong from TAS in the mid lane, and as I expected, there is the Rift Herald getting dropped. Vigar walking a little far up here, could get engaged on, has to flash, a great hook under the tower. No Ragnarok used yet, there it is now he has to go in, try to find the kill, but he will go down! Running away, not the answer there, as everybody's get flipped under the tower. It is a Giga throw from Team Ambition Sakura. Here comes Chandler Clark over the wall, trying to find the place, uses that ult, gets flipped over for the Renata. Renata's going to go down, but that's still going to be a kill going over to the side of TAS in return, but that's the dragon that's spawning up now, and should be taken away by the Wolfpack Mingos.
Yeah, definitely would say right now the Wolfpack Migos MVP definitely going to be having thrown it over to Gabe, who, in case you didn't notice, currently has a 4 gold bounty because he's currently housing 4 of the 5 kills.
That's
This
not
is
good.
this is the new Blitzcrank ADC build.
I hope not. That's not good at all.
Pretty funny.
Considering he went,
Honestly, have you ever played a AP Blitzcrank?
yes, and it falls off unbelievably hard in the mid to late game. It's so bad.
Actually,
late
it's
game.
pretty funny in the late game because your Q does so much damage. Don't
I-
kill him.
But this is the durability update, you silly goose. So you do no damage anymore. You don't get to one-shot people.
Listen, let me live my childhood memories over here.
See,
Here.
I definitely, like, I've done it too. I've seen it. I've played it. I know it. It's awesome. It's great. But then they added this wild thing called Shield Bow and then made it really unfun.
Yeah, let's not remember that item.
Should be getting built on both of these ADCs, I'd imagine. Maybe one or, like, maybe they go Kraken Slayer. I would think that's a little silly. We'll see. The Enchanted Crystal Arrow going to swing wide. Singed just kind of dancing around these members as Olaf doesn't really care about what the Singed is doing. It's going to chase him nonetheless. The axe will swing wide. Will he be able to dodge another one? Does not look like it. Renata's going to try to steal it. Will not be able to do so, though. As Olaf will secure the kill.
Yeah, unfortunately, by the looks of it, I think this is going to be Singe's first loss in the VRS series.
What makes you say that?
I mean, definitely not pointing out that 151 stat block line, stealing farm from your Vigar.
You shouldn't be considering his 151 because he's actually only 1-4-1 because he executed.
Oh yeah, that is true. He did
So
execute.
that's pretty hype.
And here comes the TP. Into
As-
nothing.
Yeah, I mean, he just doesn't want to lose the wave, so I think that's completely fair. To go ahead and TP there, especially since you were 30 seconds away from it becoming, you know, the better version of it anyway. You're probably not going to be using it in that amount of time. Dragon's not spawning for another, like, 2.5 minutes, so I don't have a problem with the TP there. Because you don't want it going down next. Be a great hook onto the Renata. There was just a bait. Here comes the ultimate onto the Zeri. Zeri has to start turning around. Does use that cleanse though. Wants to turn around. And a great execution there from the Nocturne to come in and secure that kill. They want to try to go in a little bit more. Vigar is here to try and make something happen. The hook hits right onto the Ashe. Ashe is going to go down here. Teleport comes in, but it's too little, too late. What can you do about this anymore? Not a dang thing. As now Singe is like, nice. I get to just kind of run around in top lane alone now. With, you know, little sparkle emojis around alone. As we will see what Singe can get done to this tower. It's probably not going to be a whole lot, but Ornn has to make the walk of shame all the way back up.
If we look at the minimap, he's not caring about the tower. Instead, he's just
Nope.
taking that next wave in between two towers.
I mean, either way, I mean, taking the wave is definitely the smart thing to do because you want to go ahead and deny as much farm as possible. You want to punish that Ornn for daring to try to be a team player. And I will say Ornn left pretty late there, and it was really weird that ends up happening. But we do see a collapse happening onto the Singed. And Singe will start running right through the Ornn. Ornn gonna get stunned up though. Flips him out of the Vanguard W! Oh no! It's terrible situation now. Orin's going to try to use that ultimate to buy himself some time, but Singe is running circles around him. But here comes Renata. Renata trying to find the play. Does not get the W off, as now Olaf is trying to just go in as much as possible. The fear will not work out there. The hook on to Hunter of Steel. He is getting low, trying to find the play, trying to find the dueling power. Does have that W, but it's going to run out soon. Maybe trying to throw another axe, but will not be able to do so. Nocturne goes back in, finds the kill for himself. No W comes out yet again from the Renata and gets outplayed there. Renata not on top of it with W's, but however, the Nocturne has been popping off with these plays.
Yeah, I do want to point out that Wolfpack Migos has taken the lead once again. Sure, they're up they are up 3 kills, but they do only have about 100 gold difference. Dragon is going to be coming up here in about 30 seconds. Will be second drag for both of them. Zeri is going to be taking the mid tower. So, honestly, looking at how this game is kind of a bit of a stalemate at the moment, both teams are kind of even. Who do you have your eyes set on winning this match?
I don't know. I could not tell you. I think just neither of these teams. Just like both teams, everybody can be a winner. I genuinely couldn't tell you. It's a difficult one to look at. Based on the game state now, and based on the composition, it's going to be Hunter of Steel getting hooked on in. Does have the Ragnarok. Will pop it now, and he will go berserk. That's going to be 1 kill on to TJ Lanier. He goes down. Is now Zeri trying to fight for her life at the moment, but will start getting chased down by the Olaf, whose ult is back up, trying to save that Q for as long as possible so he can secure the kill. Easy peasy, lemon squeeze right there. As all of a sudden TAS starts swinging the game back in their favor. And I gotta say, I think TAS have a solid chance of winning this one. As the Orin is going to be in a bad situation. Will he be able to get out of it? Should be able to easily get out of this one. Trying to chase down his enemies. Will not really get the chance to do that. Instead, we'll just go ahead and walk on out.
Yep, definitely doing a good job there from Team Ambition, getting the dragon, getting the kills, just looking very clean all around. And Renata's ult to start the fight. Orin does get stunned here, but I don't think anything big's gonna happen this interaction. Oh, he's ulting.
Yeah, but so is the Nocturne onto the backline. No W available for the Renata at the moment. That's going to be the ultimate coming through. The outplay button from the Vigars. Now they're going to start chasing down Not a Jaxman. Just cannot play around these side lanes. That's something that you're going to see a lot of these teams want to try to do, like TAS just did. Is they want to try to find the pick onto Vigar, but Nocturne doing a really good job of hovering around that play to make sure that that was not an option. Is now Ari trying to run for her life. I don't know if she has that ultimate available. She does, so she can get out of this pretty easily. Does miss the charm, though. So all of a sudden, that's a pretty big issue. If the flip comes through, that's going to be the flash coming out from Ari, and she'll be just fine for now. Now Olaf trying to hit the axis, will hit another one. Can't be disabled now as he's trying to find the play. Gets flipped over because Ragnarok ends. Trying to keep on going, but it won't be able to do so because he's just not allowed to chase the Singe because, that's rule number 1 of League of Legends. Of course, having that Rylai's does not make things any easier. Will continue to run away now as our Olaf will not be able to continue yet again.
Yep, unfortunately he will not be able to continue. Herald is up. Seems that both teams are kind of doing a bit of a dance off here with each other. Oh, Olaf not respecting the dance. And are we potentially gonna see if misses the hook?
Yep, very unfortunate stuff there. So we'll see. Maybe something could happen here around this play, but it does not look like that's going to be the case at all. We will see. Maybe the Rift Herald is actually going to get started up here, as Olaf wants to try to get in here. A teleport coming through as well. Enchanted Crystal Arrow onto the Nocturne. Nocturne getting very low, goes berserk, and he just wants to start hitting everything in sight. But now he will go down, shut down for the Ashe. The flip onto the Ari. Ari is going to be able to live for now. The Blitzcrank hook just barely swings wide as now they're going in onto the Zeri. Zeri has to try to run for her life. The cleanse does absolutely nothing because it's only working against knockups. What is going on here? Chandler Clark trying to get into the fight, will not be able to do so. However, as Rift Herald will be taken away by TAS. Looks like Olaf is going to secure that one for himself. Going to drop somewhere as the hook just barely swings wide onto Renata. As looks like they'll have to reset and start dropping this Rift Herald soon for the side of TAS, as Wolfpack Mingos are starting to lose the advantage they once had in this game.
Yeah, Team Ambition is currently up about 400 gold, which I'm not exactly sure how the gold distribution is looking at the moment. If we could get a quick glance at gold. It does appear Olaf does have futures market because he is in the negatives at the moment, but he does currently, currently Olaf does have the most gold in the game.
As yeah, Olaf having the most gold in the game, pretty scary if you're this Zeri who doesn't have a lot to deal with it besides just straight up damage. The good news is you have a lot of damage to deal with him, but it's all about not getting caught out before that, right? So they can just manage to play this front to back comfortably, then things can all of a sudden be very achievable in these team fights.
Yep, and as we are going to be seeing dragon spawning in just about a minute, seems teams are already looking to get set up for this dragon.
Because now Vigar's trying to find the play. It does barely dodge away from the charm and outplays it too. Finds the kill. The Rift Herald is going to drop. Here comes Olaf. He wants to try to find the kill, but he cannot walk through that baby cage. He does have Ragnarok. Was actually probably doable to find that play, but instead elects not to die to the tower and instead gets the charge off. The tower will live for now, but I think with a few more members coming on down, that should be the tower falling as well there.
Vigar actually got out.
That's pretty hype. I don't know what to say. I mean, that was just a little bit of an overcommitment from XXOVOCC. You know, love that name, by the way. Very just rolls off the tongue for sure. Maybe we could call him or her
Ovo.
Ovo. I like that name a lot too.
Ovo.
Or we just stop calling him by his actual name. We just call him Owo. You know.
Yeah, I like Uwu. Ovo.
I think that's probably the best answer. Oh, they helped Vigar clear the ward. What a play! Did you see that? That
The
was
Renata ult!
that was sick.
Oh!
As we're gonna see Chandler Clark, face check, Pixel Brush, trying to kite away, will barely be able to get out of this one, but the Ornhorn will find the kill. As now Vigar in a bad spot is playing Ring Around the Rosie, just stands still and dodges everything that Ari could possibly throw at him, but it's not enough. He's just being sent into the stratosphere and will be shut down by the Ari as they will go on to the Dragon for TAS. Should be able to get that one. Will also hinder the chance of backing there. The Ash was just trying to get away to stop this Singe from, as he should be able to take away this tower.
Yeah, Singe is just being chilly right now. And he takes the tower.
Easy peasy. So he should be able to get away here. I mean, he dropped the W. Oh, wait. Here comes the Olaf. He still hits the Q, tries to dodge away from it, gets the flip off, and yeah, okay. Singe is gone.
Yep,
No
Singe just casually flips Olaf off of him. Yeah, that's a tongue twister. Try saying that 5 times fast.
As we're going to see that good old control ward getting taken away by that Blitzcrank, because Blitzcrank starts running off into the sunset. As we're going to see Olaf take away that red buff. Not a lot of crazy stuff happening for now. I believe things are crashing. I don't know what's happening. Oh, the internet. Oh, okay, I'm back. I don't know if that was me or if that was Parsec being silly. But we're better now. Everything is crystal clear. I can cast. As luckily there was no crazy play that just happened. We are in a slower part of the game. And it's looking pretty even. But this next dragon that's coming up in... Oh, wait a second! Olaf in a really bad spot. Has to try to run away, but him getting caught out like this is absolutely detrimental to this team being able to do anything. Now, all of a sudden, they have to make a play or make a choice. Do they try to contest this bot lane tower? Do they just give as much as they have to? As this tower is in threat of going down. The rest of the squad for TAS have to walk all the way around. They're getting zoned off this tower. All of a sudden, Orin in a really bad spot. Singe is here trying to make something happen. Will he be able to get the flip off? He is surviving as long as possible. The Berserk comes through. The Charm is swinging wide. Not a Jackson gets flipped before he can use his ultimate. Ari dashing in and out, trying to get the damage off. That's going to be a very low Nocturne. Nocturne will fall to the Ignite red buff combo. Or maybe she had red buff just now, as that's going to be a flash away from the sun. Renata can't get hit because there's too many minions in the way. Chandler Clark is going to heal up. Will manage to find the kill. The hook onto Najaxman, who wants to try to get into this fight. Trying to find the kills, trying to find the plays. But the the Singe just lives for too long. The poison, the dodge away from that Olaf Q. Olaf
He's chasing a Singe. You're not allowed to chase the Singe. It's just not okay. Will he be able to find the play? If he keeps pushing up, he could go down, but the hook is going to swing wide. He dodges away from the hook. So luckily for him, the Olaf will not go down. But all of a sudden, Wolfpack Mingos go ahead and go up 2K gold.
Yeah, Wolfpack Mingo is definitely looking in a pretty comfortable position. Baron is currently up, but unfortunately, all the respawns are happening at the same time, so Baron is probably just going to instantly get contested. Nothing will happen, and Dragon is not up for another 2 minutes. Honestly, Wolfpack Mingos looked very clean during that. What was it, like a full 2-minute long fight?
I believe so. It was a pretty long fight. It was a pretty crazy one right there, as we will see that blue buff get taken away by the Vigar. We will see the Olaf in a bit of a situation. Gonna get knocked up here. Sun's gonna come through though. A great Renato ultimate gonna go ahead and berserk everybody up. Stops the Nocturne from getting too much done. The Ashe is trying to heal up, trying to run away, trying to join back into this fight right after. But if Zeri goes over the wall, could end up finding that play. The Orin Horn is going to sound, trying to find the play against the knockup off, but is it enough? Meanwhile, the Everfrost, the RE goes straight into the wall, as now we're going to see the Orin go down. The Singe tries to get back into the fight. Ari's trying to get back into the fight as well, but it's just not enough. There it is, all the damage coming through from this Ashe and the Ari. But now Ari dashing over, trying to find the play. The axe is going to drop, but now Blitzcrank's the only one alive, and he is going to fall. They want to go ahead and start up this Baron. The death timers are too long, but they do have a Nocturne who's going to be spawning very soon, who wants to try to get in here. Does have that ultimate up very soon, but I don't think it's going to be soon enough. This Baron is falling rapidly.
This Baron is getting his health almost instantly deleted. Nocturne unfortunately realizes this and is just going to be going towards the bot side to help start setting up for Dragon, who are going to be having 30 seconds. Ambition is going to be picking it up. They are going to be going for the reset. Olaf, oh, it seems we do have a pause. I believe Olaf might have DC'd because he was not instantly backing. So let's just kind of break this down real quick. So team Wolfpack does a really good job during that long, like 2.5 minute fight, just all across the map. They're running after each other, and then Team Ambition comes back and just backhands Wolfpack right back at him. This is just back and forth. I mean, I can't really decide who I think is going to win this.
Yeah, and it did seem like at that situation that the side of Wolfpack Mingos didn't seem to remember that the other team beats you in straight up 5v5s. Like, they win 5v5 super hard. The only reason you were really winning these fights earlier was because you were catching out one of the most prominent members on the team, which is Olaf, and then systematically killing the rest of the team off after that. When it's a straight up 5v5, you're not going to do too hot. Yes, it's still winnable, as we saw. There were a lot of low health bars by the end of the fight, but it becomes 100% harder to like actually make this happen. So it's just, you have to be playing this team composition like a pick comp. I mean, that's what this team does, right? You're not playing for the 5v5. You're playing for, let's find one person and, get him, kill him, just surround him, and then find that. And then after that, the rest of the team fights become easier because then you have a man advantage. And then after that, you can start team fighting. But, around that Baron, that's not what we saw. We saw, the hubris start to build up a little bit too much with Wolfpack Mingos. And unfortunately, that's just, we're going to a break.
I dream 100 dreams a minute, and deep inside what I construct. So there's no use, don't even bother. Tonight is not the night for us. I have a million shapes to vacate. I'm past the point of no return. So don't even call, don't even bother, 'cause I can make you my concern. I'm running faster than before. Beats and tunes and lovers cannot hold me back no more. I work alone. Is this all I'll ever know? And I remember all my childhood dreams. no sudden move to gain the lights. 'Cause I'm not even close to done yet. Well, I won't leave until it's spite. And when the dawn emerges slowly, I realize the night has passed. The sun's up way more visionary. Looking forward to go back. I'm running faster than before. Beats and tunes and lovers cannot hold me back no more. I work alone. Is this all I'll ever know? And I remember all my childhood dreams. I find it hard to get them out of my mind. And I remember all my childhood dreams. I find it hard to get them out of my mind. I'm serious, I feel totally lost. If I'm asking for help, it's only because being with you has opened my eyes. Could I ever believe such a perfect surprise? I keep asking myself, wondering how. I keep closing my eyes, but I can't block you out. Wanna fly to a place where it's just you and me, nobody else, so we can be free. All the things she said, all the things she said, running through my head, running through my head, running through my head. All the things she said, all the things she said, running through my head, running through my head. All the things she said. This is not enough. This is
Are back to game number. We are back to game number 3. I don't know when the sound actually started. I just figured that the sound would start. I just kind of guessed. My bad. As we will see, the looks like a dragon fight is brewing here between the two sides, as the Nocturne ultimate will sound and will start to scare them off of the objective for a little bit, but he's not going to use it to go in until the very end. Gets him very low. That's going to be a Renata ult that hits so many people. It's now Ash on the back line, or maybe that's Renata. I'm not quite sure who it is, but Zeri gets absolutely taken down, leaves the game. He's like, GG, go next. But there will be no next game. Vigar manages to find the kill. The dragon will be started up, should go down relatively quickly here. And that will be Soul for the side of Team Ambition Sakura.
Yeah, Team Ambition Soccer doing a really good job there, getting that Dragon Soul. I like how they just kind of committed everything into the team, despite there being a Vigar just chilling in their back lane. And it seemed like all of Team Ambition's, like, their two people in the back lane were like, yo, do we interact with this Vigar, or do we just kind of let him exist back here? Like, Vigar was kind of out of position.
Yeah, I mean, just a tad. Just a tad, but also, you know, Zeri ends up going down first in that fight, so was a bit of a difficult situation. I think the reason we're getting a pause was because Zeri had left the game after getting killed. Don't know if it was willingly. Might have DC'd right in the middle as the team fight broke out and died as a result of it. But it did look like that he died and then there was a pause. Or, sorry, he died and then he DC'd. So I doubt it's the first thing I said. I'm pretty sure it's that, you know, he died, he quit the game, and he just came back. Because, you know, a lot of players like to do that. There's things that happen. But either way, should be A-okay. We should be getting back into the game relatively quick.
Yep, definitely should be interesting. I do want to go ahead and say, like, Team Ambition, they are currently up about 3,000 gold. They do have Soul. It is Cloud Soul, is what I just realized. I feel like Cloud Soul's the most underwhelming Soul, by the way.
No, Cloud Soul on this team was actually super hype. I think, at least with Ari and Olaf, it's pretty impactful. Now, Singed gets to go really fast, but it's not. It's like whatever. Now Zeri gets to also go. Well, she doesn't get it, so that doesn't matter because I just realized that TAS already secured it with that last dragon. So yeah, Olaf, Ari being able to go super fast is terrifying. And if Zeri, in a hypothetical world, were able to get, the cloud, so I think Zeri actually would have been pretty solid with it. As now the pause will, or we will now resume and probably get that bit of a buffer, maybe not. Maybe we will be blessed by the spectator client, and we'll be just fine.
Yep, it's the there. It
Oh,
is.
there it is! There it is.
Right
lucky.
as I was getting ready to see, I believe we have been blessed. We immediately get cursed. As we are going to be seeing Renata walking it down mid towards the Singed. A lot of Wolfpack sending their forces top lane.
Yep, sending their forces on up. Wonder what they're gonna try to do there. All they really have is an exposed inhibitor that they can go ahead and get, and I guess that's something. But it looks like TAS just wants to kind of brute force their way into the mid lane.
Yeah, I mean they do have Cloud Soul, they do have Baron at the moment. Oh no, sorry, Baron just ended.
We will see. We did see that Nocturne in a bit of a sticky situation for just a moment, but we'll be able to get right on out of there. As that will be the Ash Arrow swinging wide, as now Zeri will go ahead and go over the wall. They pull another one. The Renata will go down. Has no chance of surviving that one. A great Vigar cage right on top of the Ari. Ari's going to get very low, and the Primordial Burst will find the kill. The Vigar's in a very bad position now. Will go down, but the hook onto the Ash is actually pivotal in getting that kill. As now Zeri going forward, trying to find the 1v1 against this Olaf, but all of a sudden it turns into more than a 1v1, but he's gonna get that life steal! Olaf is running away with this game, but Zeri has to run away and gets away in time. Will he be able to output enough damage to find the kill onto the Olaf? The stopwatch is just barely enough to keep him alive for a little bit longer. The cleanse comes out from Chandler Clark. Will he be able to find the kill onto this one? Yes, he will! The shutdown comes through from Chandler, and Zeri is popping off. Long death timers for sure. 40 seconds on the last two, but only 8 seconds on Ari with Renata spawning already. We'll be able to meet them at this tower, maybe even force them off, but with how strong Zeri is, I don't know if that's realistic. As Singe is just going to go ahead and back right in front of his face. So that will be the tower getting very low and will be able to survive for now. Ari is here, and that is going to be a great fight. The Enchanted Crystal Arrow will just barely miss the Zeri. Zeri is stealing what she can, but is greeting just a little bit. The Shurelias will be popped. She's going to go ahead and try to E over this wall and should get away. As Ari wants to pop her own ultimate, but she does not feel the need to.
Yep, very unfortunate that Renata was not able to stop the Singe back. Looked like it landed like just a few pixels short. And we are now seeing Ash slowly farm away, get some more gold to try and build that last item that we see she's trying to work on.
Would be pretty solid stuff there, as we're going to see the Singe start walking up. We'll go ahead and start running away, though, after getting that wave far enough up. So we'll see Blitzcrank maybe look for a little something, but I don't think he'll be able to realistically find anything. It is possible, but not. We do see Olaf looking for a play onto the Singe. Perhaps Singe does get the flip off onto the Olaf for now, but Olaf will be able to survive no problem at all. As gotta imagine in these next fights, if Vigar is able to live a little bit longer, they're a lot less close. Because if it was both Vigar and Zeri doing damage to the Olaf, that goes a lot different. But that's going to be the cleanse getting popped from this Vigar. Vigar in a bad situation, but still gets the kill. Primordial Burst comes through. That's going to be the Olaf just chasing him down. Singe is going to be able to get out of there. The Renata ultimate will go ahead. I don't think it helps them find anybody. So now Zeri's trying to outplay this, trying to find the play. Everything just swings wide on Zeri, but Zeri's going to go down anyway. It doesn't matter. Singe is able to get out there. The Nocturne trying to find an assassination might be able to do so. Should at least try to run some interference, but instead it's just going to back, as all they can do is try to hold this up, but they have no damage, and that's the main thing I'm gonna have to contend with here. Will they be able to do it without their main damage threats? And the thing is, Maybe, because there's not a lot of damage from the other side, at least from a range. Now Blitzcrank gonna go in with that ultimate, almost one-shot the Renata. Renata gonna get very low. Renata will survive, as now the Nocturne should go down as well. That's gonna be a nice flip onto the Orange to try to get him dead. Will he go down, though? Not Jaxbane trying to survive, will be able to do so. That is a 1 HP Renata. He shouldn't go down. Noah Talk is trying to take down the inhibitor as well. Should be able to do so. Can easily kite out this Singe. W will hit. Here comes the Vygar trying to find the play. The Enchanted Crystal Arrow will just barely miss, as now they will be able to get on out of there and just start running all the way away.
Yep, Ornn doing a really good job there tanking for his team. Ash doing really good just poking out the Singe. Singe did TP. There is a fight going on.
Yeah, it does look to be that way, as Singe is in a very bad spot. Does get that. Zanya's off, though, as all of a sudden Ornn will go down. Will the Singe be able to live? The Ahri is after him, but Zeri is on the flee. Will she be able to get away? She will be able to just barely not. Gets double killed by that Ahri, as they will start going back onto the Rift, as Vygar getting absolutely one shot was super detrimental, and that should be game. TAS only have to contend with a Nocturne and a Blitzcrank. Maybe Nocturne can ult and try to find something. He is going to go in immediately, but it's not going to be enough. The W is popped, and all of a sudden, the Renata is doing a-okay. Blitzcrank against the world. Will he be able to do it? He has to try to get these minions away from the rest of them, but it's just not enough. TAS take down the Blitzcrank. They should be able to take down the towers. The next person spawning is the Singed or the Vygar. Can't really tell, but it does not matter, because the Nexus will finally fall, and TAS will win the series 2-1.
I definitely have to say that was a very well fought out mission.
Belveth! Oh no! She's
Oh my
taking
goodness
over
gracious.
the street!
Oh! We don't get to
No
see the final
way!
score. Belveth is here.
The Void Empress will not be
Wow.
held back.
Not
Oh,
at
that's
all.
too good.
All right. So
Um,
even though Belveth has kind of ruined
I got
our
it.
show here, you boys know what it's time for. It's time for the MVP vote. So,
Oh, yes, it is.
so I guess we
I,
will go ahead and ask around Dodge. Who do you think would be MVP?
That's a good question. I think I have to give it to not a Jaxman if we're talking about overall series performance. Especially Game 2 was a fat top gap. The Ornn as well, finding some crazy horns in combination with Caddy's hostile takeovers for these big team fight wombos in Game 3. Overall, I was really impressed with the top lane play, but I'm a bit biased as a top laner myself. What about you guys?
I I think I have to hard disagree, actually. Mainly because I think Olaf, or not Olaf, but Hunter Wolf Steel 5 performed out of his mind just about like the entire series. I feel like there wasn't a like solid part where he wasn't playing well. I feel like he was playing well in the Gwen game, where they lost game number 1, yes, but he was like 12-4 or something on the Gwen. The only reason they end up losing that game is because their draft was just absolutely atrocious, right? So there was that, and then in the next game, I want to say he performed really well in whoever he was playing. I can't exactly remember the second game around. I don't think he wasn't the Follow Bear. He was whoever was going up against the Volley. I can't remember. But I mean, in this last game, the Olaf, I mean, we just saw him going absolutely crazy on this one. So, yeah, my vote has to go to the jungler of Team Ambition Sakura for sure.
Why do the junglers always get all the credit? I can't disagree, though. It's a great pick. Absolutely
Yeah.
smurfing it, as you pointed out, even in game 1, which was a bit of a, not necessarily one-sided, but a bit of a hard loss for Team Ambition Sakura. Definitely the standout member in that performance. Kongman, as we do have the poll out in the chat for the viewers to decide on the MVP, would you like to make your voice heard on who deserves the honors here tonight on Team Ambition Sakura?
I mean, I kind of have to agree with you a little bit, Dodge, because Jaxmane was definitely outperforming today. Definitely helped shut down that Singe, finally giving Singe his first loss in the entire VRS series. But honestly, like that last fight, like in the jungle with Olaf just carrying it back, making sure to kill 3 people so that way Wolfgang could not just run it back and end the game. I really have to give it to Hunter Wolf on that one.
Yeah, absolutely. So as we see Hunter Wolf pulling way ahead in the MVP vote. Again, the poll is active in chat for all of you that stuck with us through the night for this epic 3-game set, which went oh so long with some pause shenanigans in there. Make sure to make your voice heard on who the MVP was. Hunter definitely big deserving of the honors and staying in the lead with about 57% of the vote, but you still have time if you are of another persuasion. But big performances, especially on that Olaf, that game 3 was definitely a back and forth affair if we do want to shift the focus over onto Wolfpack Mingo, so I think showed up a bit more than maybe we expected them to tonight, with a pretty convincing game 1 win off the back of a bit of a draft gap into stretching out that game 3 a long time, clawing it back a bunch. If we were to look at a most valuable player for them, an ace if you want to call it, for the losing side, who would we shift the focus on there?
Let me see.
Hot take, I really liked Gabe.
Good.
Yeah, I think Gabe had some good performances. Ash in game 1, especially. In game number 3, it was... What was it in game number
Blitzcrank?
3? Blitzcrank. Yeah, no, there were some
Yeah.
crazy hooks. The disruption on some. I remember knocking up Ornn to extend a team fight in the bot lane near the tier 3 at one point. Just being a complete pest, a complete nuisance. Really, really good support play. Very solid coming out from Gabe.
I think that's the only one I could really give it to as a support as well. I think the Ash arrows were pretty good. And Caddy was doing pretty good on the Blitzcrank as well. I will say game number 1 there were a lot of missed Ash arrows. there
Yeah.
were there were a good few of them, but I mean in the end it worked out because there were the ones that did hit were monumental and changed the course of the game. I mean you could argue that the last Ash ultimate was the one that sealed the entire game, hitting of course my choice for MVP. The Gwen, who just overstepped a tiny bit, wasn't quite in the circle anymore, ends up getting punished for it. So, like I said, my personal, ace for the side of the Wolfpack Mingos would have to go to the support as well.
Yeah, definitely so. As we do get reminded of our predictions here, it was Shogun and I coming out on top over Kongman ever so slightly, pulls us into a complete tie for game and series score on the season with 1 week of regular season play left to go. It should be spicy for a variety of reasons next week. Definitely going to be the big decider for the regular season, as I think we're still trying to figure out who the last place recipient will, what they'll be getting punished with at the end of this all. Definitely going to be something diabolical, I'm sure. But that MVP vote is just about to expire, and it looks like it will be Hunter Wolfsteele in the jungle position, taking home those honors. Very well deserved through all 3 games. Any closing thoughts on the series as we move forward into the final week of the regular season? What this tells us maybe about the playoff picture, where we should rank Team Ambition Soccer maybe amongst the Dorado teams and the other leaders of the individual groups?
Yeah, so I'll just kind of take a quick look around the league at the moment. Right now, the only undefeated teams is Oasis Esports in Group A, ABS in Group B, and Dorado Gaming Zeta in Group C. Team Ambition is right behind Dorado Gaming, and they lost to them 1-2. So I really think if Team Ambition Sakura gets to go up against Dorado Gaming Zeta in playoffs, hot take, I know that Dorado, I'm supposed to support them. I really think Team Ambition has a chance to run it back this year.
I don't. I hard disagree. Once again,
Okay.
I
Okay, you
think.
non-believer.
See, the reason I disagree is I think Team Ambition Sakura really struggle in this series against an opponent that they honestly are much better than. And when it comes down to how they should have been playing, how I know Team Ambition Sakura should be playing, they should have wiped the floor with this team. Especially the only reason they didn't, like, if the compositions stay the same, if they keep having these like very exploitable team comps and such like that. I think Dorado is going to see that. They're going to be. I think Dorado, if they have very similar comps, and you just kind of skill check each other in terms of teams, I think Dorado is going to win those games easily because they're also. You got to remember Dorado's getting practice somewhere else against also top teams across the amateur circuit at the moment. So I mean, Dorado is going to be a fearsome foe. They will not be the same team that Team Ambition Sakura has played against before. They're only getting better from here, and I'm not seeing that improvement from Team Ambition Sakura. I'm seeing, them on it. Like the fact that this was 2-1 was mostly. I was actually really scared that they would be able to 2-0, especially after that first game, for a second because it looked really good for them, but if they can't, have better comps that can close out games and situations like that game number one, it's going to be way more difficult in these best of 5 series that we'll see later down the line in playoffs.
Yeah, the ability to adjust and adapt as the series goes on, definitely important. I think the shout out to Dorado getting better practice, definitely a big one. But we do have our MVP screen ready to go here if we can bring that on in. It was the jungler, of course, Hunter Wolfsteal, coming on through with the Olaf performance. Big time carry potential in game number 3. Definitely a fun one to watch, going 12, 4, and 16 in that jungle position. So once again, big shout outs to Hunter Wolf. And big shout out to Team Ambition Sakura for, giving us a very entertaining series, pulling it back in a big way in a very back and forth game 3. It was a fun one to, get to watch here on this Thursday night. But it is that time again, gentlemen. It is time for us to go on into that good night and be done with the VAS, or rather the VRS here on Thursday until next week. So we will see you guys that time around. Until then, stay frosty out there, stay cool, because it is a blazing summer. I'm Infinite Dodge.
I am Shogun.
And I am Cogman.
And we will see you guys later. Bye-bye.